Hey guys, isn't memory weird?
Damn it.
Damn.
So good.
Called out.
Can you elaborate for me, Ben?
I most certainly can. Like that right then, that's a memory.
Oh man, you're right.
Yeah, this right
It's like now is a new memory.
totally is. Like when Ryan Eliopoulos right here,
Hey, it's me. What's up?
he just took a drink of his soda. That's a brand new memory.
It's gone
Yeah.
forever.
Like Sparks, when you said that was a new memory, that actually became a new memory.
It's true. That became a new memory that you are seeing right now.
Past is
totally.
the past, the future is now.
Totally. And over here is Brandon T. McClure, just
Constantly experiencing newness.
it's just it's
I was
Okay.
expecting
I
a
am
Sonic
one.
intro,
I am one with myself.
You are one
You
with
are.
the now.
and the
One
now
with
is
the
with me.
now.
you totally are. So Ryan, to be
Oh,
perfect.
look, Mag is in the comments.
Oh, that was
Hey,
quick.
Mag.
Hey, Mag.
Mag says noise. Hello, sir.
So, funny enough, Ryan, I did have a video game E3 Sonic intro planned.
There you
I had
go.
something planned for it.
But you wasted it for Basement Arcade Pause menu.
No, I didn't waste
Obviously.
it. I didn't waste it for Basement Arcade Pause menu. What happened was that stuff was going on in the car ride when we went to get food, which turned into an entire bloody odyssey.
That's true.
And
idea.
like we had to go to 3 different Taco Bells to get your guys' stuff, and mine was just
What
I was-
happens when a Taco Bell is out of food?
Or when the system crashes.
you go to a different Taco Bell apparently, and then Brandon just out of nowhere, out of complete nowhere, just goes, "Hey, isn't memory weird?" It's like how much, and no, Sparks looked at him and was like, because
did.
Sparks was driving, is like how
How
much
much
and
and
when.
I'm not at liberty to say.
Ben, what number is this?
Episode number 245.
And Ben, what are we doing this week?
I don't believe
we are
you.
talking about family.
We
That was
are
all-
talking about
That was a
family.
god awful Vin Diesel impression.
Talking
Holy
about
shit.
Family.
Yeah, we were gone last week. We're back together again
Yes.
this week. It's good to see
In
we're-
person?
Yeah, in person. I'm
Person.
seeing these
Hopefully
fools.
the microphones are working with the StreamYard.
Hopefully.
We
We'll
have
find
no way
out.
of knowing.
Hey,
Mag,
Mag.
do we sound like shit? I guess we'll find out.
Mag, can you hear us okay? Just give us a thumbs up emoji. I could see the thing.
All right. Anyway,
I don't know. Okay.
but we have links. Oh, if you're done.
yeah, I'm done.
Okay, if we have links,
Psych, no, not. I'm kidding.
we have
I'm
links
done,
in the
I'm done.
description below. It's okay. I like the energy. For example, downright annoyed is a thing that still happens even when we're not here.
It's true, all of it, says Han Solo.
So you did downright annoyed this week.
I did. What movie did we talk about? Let me remember.
Something
The
about
Tale of Two
sisters.
Sisters.
Yep, that is exactly. I definitely watched it and talked about it today. A Tale of Two Sisters. It's a great South Korean horror drama, directed by the guy who also did The Good and Bad and the Weird, which was one of my previous choices.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That guy's made a bunch of great movies, and now we all know. And this one definitely spooked Cookie. Cookie's not a big horror guy, and he got spooked and made me happy.
Very nice.
Welcome
Yeah,
to my world, Cookie.
that is linked below. Ben, you have 2 articles from
I know.
this week.
Not one, but 2. Holy
Do
shit.
you want to say what they are?
Yes. The first one is on why fans of older Nintendo franchises should not lose hope that Nintendo is completely given up on some of their older games. We're gonna probably talk a tiny little about it later because obviously E3 was last week,
Mhm.
and Nintendo brought out
What's that?
it's this huge video game thing. Don't worry
Electronics
about it. Oh,
3.
hi Astra, hi Kitty Cat. And during that E3, they brought
Shoot.
back two franchises that a lot of people thought were dead and gone. So hey, don't lose hope. The second one, the Nintendo 64 had its 25th. Oh,
It's fine.
Kitty.
It's fine.
Oh, Kitty.
It's fine.
Oh, Kitty.
That cat definitely walked over our equipment.
It totally did. Hey, it's on video. People can see it now. What was I going on? Oh yeah.
E3.
No, the Nintendo 64.
That's yep.
It had its 25th anniversary this week.
Okay.
Very
So
nice.
I wrote about reminiscing about the N64 because even though it didn't sell a whole lot compared to PlayStation, every single person I've talked to about the N64, they freaking love the N64.
Yeah.
It's just like a beloved system across the board.
Nice.
It's awesome.
I also love the N64. I actually played it.
That's good.
Yeah, I read Ben's article, and that's true. Nintendo fans, don't lose hope. Eventually, like 15 years from now, they'll put stuff on the Nintendo Switch Online service
Eventually.
when the Switch no longer matters.
I almost forgot to mention, because I should have done this in order. We do have a Fake Nerds Watch. We may have been off last week, but we did record a Fake Nerds Watch for Loki. I think there's 2 episodes since the last time we actually recorded an episode. I'm not 100% sure, but they're both up there. I made a horrible graphic for Loki episode 2.
No, you didn't.
Dude, I love how
Scratched out the 1, baby.
I love that you scratched out the one, just put a 2.
Beautiful.
The second episode is linked below. We did. Oh, Mag's saying we're fine. Thank you, Mag.
Yeah.
Groovy.
You're our guy. Yeah. So that's there. So check that out. What we think about Loki. Episode 3 will be coming up this week.
Word.
And I have 2 articles, 2
Whoa,
weeks,
whoa,
2
whoa.
articles.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Specifically because I wanted to get one of them out. But I did release one where I talked about the AT&T selling Warner Brothers to Discovery.
Mhm.
I talked about that one's my more general, like I did news.
Sorry, real quick. Did we actually say what Ben's second article was?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's 64.
Okay, got it.
The first one I wrote is basically just like it's the news and then how I feel how good or bad this could be. My general pieces. And then I put one that I felt was very personal to me because I've mentioned on the show. I'm not. I haven't been. I've been a little disillusioned with the Fast franchise, and I wanted to get my thoughts somewhere because I have a hard time vocalizing them, just in general. But I have an easy time writing them. Now, I don't know if I'm entirely successful in it, but I did try to work through my own thoughts. Being, a little out of breath. Sorry. Being a little disillusioned with the franchise post Paul Walker. I knew Paul Walker had something to do with it, and I wasn't sure what that was. And I extrapolated from some articles that have been circulating since the feud with The Rock and Vin Diesel and circulating about the relationship between Paul Walker and Vin Diesel. But I'm really happy I did it because it allowed me to go into F9 just free of it, and I was able to enjoy the hell out of that movie.
Sure, that's good.
Spoilers.
Spoilers for the review. But yeah, that's really what I wanted to do is get that out. What was that feeling? Get it out. Whether or not it was entirely successful, it did help a lot.
And you know what,
That's
Brandon? That's now a new memory for you.
It's now a new memory for me.
It's a memory on the internet forever.
How does it feel? To
I'm on a
finally-
new memory.
I'm on a
How does it feel, Brandon? How does it feel?
So I did put a lot of work into it, and again, I did my best. So yeah, if you want this thing below, check it out.
Yeah, you totally should. I haven't read it yet, but it's on my to-do list.
It's okay. It's 2 pages.
Ben also has his Basement Arcade pause menu discussion for E3 coming out.
Yes,
this
yes, I
week.
do.
You could go ahead and talk about that for a second. I got to go into the other room real quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
go ahead.
talked. Myself, my two people who were on Basement Arcade pause menu before came back. Of course, Inga Draper from Adults Talking Anime Plus. She came on the show again to do post E3, and my buddy Patrick Brickhouse from the Retro Blast podcast. He came on.
He's a brick.
I was
House.
thinking it. I just wasn't, but you did it. I love it.
Yeah, both of them came on, and we talked about all of E3 essentially. Like our likes, our dislikes, our disappointments, our not disappointments, our thoughts, our feelings. So if once that comes up, if you want to go into more about my feelings for E3, go to Basement Arcade pause menu. I'll lightly touch on it today because obviously that's in the news. But if you want the deep dive, go there.
Deep dive.
And then lastly, I should mention our Patreon. I did mention it at the end of the last episode we did, so I want to mention at the top of this one. We do have a 4th tier on our Patreon.
Ooh.
Man, it's been so long.
Yep. We've added a 4th tier to our Patreon. It is $1, only one, and it is if you kind of like us, you can support us with $1 a month. Really happy with that one. Sparks' idea.
Yeah, maybe a reward for that tier coming.
I'm
We're
also
working on something.
also thinking about doing a newsletter for the Patreon. I don't know if I want to, but I also kind of want to.
Do what you want.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll only do this if I want to.
Do what you
Yeah.
want.
Do what you
Pirate
want.
is free.
Yeah, that's it. So, guys, but on the rest of our Patreon, guys, obviously the $5 tier, the $15, $10 tier. Sorry, $10 tier. The shirt is changing actually this coming week.
Ooh,
Yeah.
July.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
no
new
more.
shirt.
No more Stephen King shirt for me. Ha 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 ha.
We'll have some backups. Don't worry.
I will. Just wait for Christmas.
Oh no.
Yeah, and we, of course our $20 tier.
It's gonna have one for every day of the week.
Now all we
because
need to
you
do,
love us tier. That's up there as well. So.
now all we need is just so it to freeze to get that freeze frame and go, oh no, oh no, oh no, right up, just like hyper zoom it on my face.
Well, that's all the shootles that I gotta.
Caboodles. I got you.
Shout noodles.
But the Animation Station shirt is up also.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm. That's true.
So your logo for Animation Station, that's up now
My logo.
You've got a new logo.
on
On a new
shirt.
I'm
logo.
gonna do this all night. Oh my God.
But that's all I got. That's so somebody else go with their week, and we'll get this party
I'm
rolling.
not going first this time. Take that.
Sure, I'll do it.
Establishment.
I'll do it.
Go for it.
Are we the
I didn't.
establishment?
I don't have a ton, even though we were gone for 2 weeks.
Oh
because
baby,
a portion of those weeks.
trust me. I'm the
Yes,
same.
but a portion of those weeks, I was off the grid,
He was doing fun
um,
stuff.
which was good. It was a good break. and so I enjoyed my little mini vacation. I did watch Over the Moon again with my mother.
Oh yeah.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
That still holds up. I finished the Sweet Tooth comic. I have not watched any more of the show yet because I've been watching with Ryan and Megan, and we haven't had time for that. But I did finish the comic. That comic ends pretty cool.
Ooh.
I like the whole experience now that I finished it. It's wild. I cannot imagine that they end the show the way they ended that comic.
Mhm.
Sure.
There's almost no way. It's crazy. So I'm not gonna say too much more about that. We watched Loki. There's a Fake Nerds Watch coming out this week, so check out our discussion of episode 3 of Loki.
Yeah.
Megan and I have watched some more Schitt's Creek. I watched Fate of the Furious because that one I hadn't seen since theaters, and I was like, I want to watch that one before F9 because I feel like it's kind of important with Charlize Theron and everything.
Mhm.
I liked it more further removed from like, this is the one they're doing after Paul Walker passed away and all that kind of stuff. Just like watching it as a Fast and Furious, I'm like, this is pretty good. The two major things I want to talk about is I watched 2 season premieres this week. One of them was Rick and Morty. Really good. It's on YouTube for free for anyone who wants to watch it.
Heck yeah.
Rick and Morty's great. There's a particularly excellent Nintendo 69 joke that I know will get Ben.
That's the guy who's writing Jeff Loveness. He's writing Ant-Man 3. So
Yes.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people would enjoy it. It's really great. It's there. You should watch it on YouTube. But the main thing I want to talk about, listeners and viewers, is there's a show you should be watching, and it's called Motherland Fort Salem. Motherland
one
Fort
thing I
Salem
did
is
this week.
back. It's
Hell
back this week. That show is incredible. It continues to be incredible. Possibly the most original thing on television right now. I love it.
For real.
Ryan, talk about it.
Oh man. Okay, so the first season was really awesome, but nobody watched it, so we were scared it was gonna get canceled, and it got picked up for a second season. It's an almost entirely female cast with a gay lead, and they just deal with like going to school, but they're witches and they work for the military. And this is a world where like witches existed and like the Salem witch trials like happened, but then they made a truce with America where witches became the new military of America. So it's an entirely alternate history world where like it's America, but like divided from like the 1600s and how things actually happen. It's incredible world building. The characters are great. It is a freeform show, so it's it's like CW-esque levels, but it's like
The
Superman
quality
and
of it
Lois.
is better, honestly.
But the Superman and Lois
Yeah.
is like it's like of quality, like
Sure.
it's super top.
Because okay, not gonna lie, when you said C levels, I'm like, wait, as in
Sorry,
like the show
CW.
gets a C?
No, no,
I
no,
mean,
no, no.
I gotta say that I'm pretty sure that show, your reactions, that show does not
Oh, it's
deserve
an A+.
a C.
We talked about this when the show was airing its first
Yeah.
season last year, but we want to hype it up again because we do want it to find a bigger audience. Like I cannot stress enough. Like I don't know that there's ever been a show where I've like, because this isn't based on books or anything, and I'm like, I want comics, I want prequel movies.
Yeah.
I want more of this. Tell me about this world. This world is incredibly rich and fascinating.
Like it's like one of those things where like kind of almost like the Purge TV show where like they think about every facet of like, okay, so if the world was like this, what would this impact and what would this impact?
Right.
It's great.
This season they've shown that they're digging into like the existence of, because so the idea is that like the world found out about witches when the Salem witch trials happened, but up to that moment in time, our worlds are the same. So like beliefs in religion and things like that still pertained, and so there are people who still believe in like Christianity and God, but in the face of a country where the militia is witches. And so like there's this strong divide that's being hinted at in this very first episode of the season. And I'm like, man, that's nuts. Like how do you stay that kind of devoted Christian in the face of a witch
Yeah.
Yeah.
military
Like,
that runs your country? Like that's crazy.
It's not a spoiler. It's the beginning of the episode. Like it's the start of the episode. It's like the vice president is at church with his daughter and she's singing, and witches use their voice, use their powers, and she doesn't know she's a witch. So when she's singing in the church, the stained glass windows behind her start melting.
Yeah.
And it's like it's haunting and beautiful.
and
at the
everybody's
same
like
time.
slowly getting up like, oh
Yeah,
hell
and
no.
it's spooky, and she's like singing, like loving it, and everyone's like slowly rising out of fear. And it's like this realization of like this vice president now has to get into this world of witches. And I'm like, this is like awesome.
And so there's like there's 4 factions that seem to be at play right now. There's the military. There's also a group called the Spree, which were introduced in the first season. They're essentially witch terrorists who are anti the military and anti the military complex of how they use witch
They
powers
would be
and
the
recruit and
Magneto.
everything. There's a new upcoming group that was hinted at the end of the first season and now is present, and it's called the Camarilla. The Camarilla fundamentally want to destroy all witches.
They're witch hunters.
Wipe them from the earth. And then there's the essentially like the equivalent of the white nationalist group that's emerging from the religious core. That's like, yo, F all witches, but like it's different from the Camarilla. The Camarilla like are witch hunters, and then there's just like people who hate witches, and like all of these things are like coalescing into one. And I'm like, man, like Brandon, it's politics in a world driven by witch militaries. Like it's so good.
I will watch it. I want to watch it. I just got to find the time.
Yeah, I will probably continue to be hyping it up as we watch the second season, because I want y'all to get on it. Not just you, but like anybody who, if this mildly appeals to you, please go watch it on Hulu. Like I want this to succeed. I want it to get big. I want them to keep doing more things in this world. It's so cool.
Right.
So you would say that you want to dig through the dishes, but not burn through the witches.
I would never burn these
I will
witches.
definitely slam in the back of a Jaguar, though.
They burn. I'm sure we talked about it, but I'll remind you, like they light their faces on fire to change their appearance. So like they light a lighter under their chin. This is a common move that they created for the show. And that's how they change their appearance. So their face lights on fire and then it's a different face.
Guess how they recharge
That's how the terrorists
Guess how they
attack.
recharge their energy. They have sex.
They bang, baby.
There are scheduled school orgies. And I'm not joking. And this is a Disney show. I'm not joking. That this show is super diverse, and again, like the lead is gay, and like half the cast are bisexual. It's like this is such a show that nobody's watching, and people should be watching. It's like
Disney's watching it. Disney's watching it. Someone at Disney is just like, Papa Disney is like, man, this show, Mother of Force Salem, is pretty good. Freeform. Don't we own Freeform?
Wait a minute. It's like honestly, Disney's getting away with something right now. Yeah,
somebody's getting away with something, because like you think about like Love Simon's sequel
Yeah.
show couldn't be on Disney Plus with what it's doing.
That's
it had
so
to go
weird.
to Hulu, but here we are on Freeform, and it's like, yo, they straight up talking about the fact that they got to bang to recharge their magical power batteries. Like, what's up?
The fact that you said they light their faces on fire to change their appearance, I'm like, that's already metal as hell.
they
It's
use
so good,
balloons
man.
to mass murder.
Dude,
There's enchantments inside balloons, and when balloons pop, it murders
you
people.
gotta
It's
watch
something
it. It's
else, man,
so
for
good.
real. So that's also one of the things I did this week, but it's your turn. So
Jeebus. All right.
Yeah.
it's a great show. Great
That's
show.
that's my week. I say Motherland Fort
Weeks.
Salem for last, because
Hell yeah.
I'm super pumped about it. I'm so glad it's back.
So then, Ryan, since you were
Hell yeah. So last Sunday I worked, and then my day off before that was Tuesday. So I've had a long 2 weeks of only having like 2 days off in 2 weeks. So it's awesome. So I'm here to talk about Avengers. That's all I did. I can't watch something or absorb something if I'm not in the mood for it, because I know I won't like it. I want to be in the mood for it. So I just listen to lots of podcasts and listen to lots of movies, or listen to lots of music, excuse me. And I played a lot of Avengers, because there's a new villain sector, and those are the boss battles. It's Monica Rapinucci. She's a scientist supreme. You fight the Cosmic Cube. It's like an hour. It's fun. It's more fun content.
Just a quick side note, because I've been catching up on Waypoint, which is a fantastic
Oh,
podcast.
hell yeah.
And I found out about like the listener who was talking about listening to them while playing video games, and I learned that like, oh, it's actually like your PS5 is a fantastic hub for popping open Spotify and just running a podcast and then flipping over to the video game.
Yeah.
And the podcast just runs in the background, and like you can just control how you tune out certain things in the game for the podcast, and you just pop it on, and like I've been discovering that, and it's opening a whole new world for me.
I forget that the PS5 can do that. Yeah, you can manually like listen to it, and like, and then you can adjust. It's like, oh, it's a cutscene, so turn
and
Spotify off.
it's so fast and so easy
Yeah.
to do it on the PS5. It's
That's
crazy.
radical. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. So Avengers is fun. That's just a really I really enjoy that gameplay, and like they're putting out really fun costumes and stuff. Like, and unfortunately, you have to buy them, so I've only bought one. That's all. That they have the end game Captain America, and I'm like, oh, it's good, but it's not that good. So besides that, I also played a little bit of Fortnite. And I watched that episode of Motherland, and I watched Loki, but that's for the podcast, and I watched the movie, and that's for Downright Annoyed. So that's what I did.
all right.
Gotcha.
Let's
All
just
right.
go down the line then, Ben.
Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah. Actually, so in my 2 weeks, I did quite a bit of stuff.
Hell yeah.
The first thing I did that I really have been excited to talk to you guys is I actually went to Avengers Campus at Disney's California Adventure last
That's
week.
right.
Oh, yeah.
You did.
Yeah. So when you mentioned Avengers, I'm like, oh yeah, I got some Avengers stuff too.
Hell
And
yeah.
You got some Avengers. I got some Avengers.
I can't
essentially,
believe that you've been there before I have. That's crazy.
if there was only one thing I could rub in your face, it'll be this. But
That's
I'm not going to because of how it
You're not
happened.
mean.
Well, exactly. And also because of what happened. Because I was actually supposed to go to Avengers Campus with my friend Micah last year when it was supposed to open,
Sure.
because he was a cast member before the shutdown happened. And of course, the shutdown happened. Then eventually he moved across the country.
Oh.
So the fact that I was even able to go at all, to me, was like, I'm just happy. And and I like it. I don't love it.
Mhm.
So
Heard that from a lot of people.
yeah. So here's the thing.
Too.
I feel that with Avengers Campus, there are a lot of things that people were talking about that were rumors that I didn't look into. Like Ant-Man's microbrewery, which is the PIM tasting, the PIM taste kitchen, and the little
Mhm.
beer thing that they have. Because I thought calling it a microbrewery was like the best naming convention ever,
cute.
but they didn't. People were saying that there was going to be a comic book store in there. There's gonna
That
be
pretzel thing that you put on your Snap, your Instagram
Instagram?
story was pretty cool.
It wasn't that good though.
This is so funny because
not
like
the pretzel, the thing
I was-
that makes the thing.
Oh,
I was
yeah, that was
off
cool.
the grid, I think, when Ben did this, so
Yeah.
I just missed that this even happened.
Oh, I was posting.
I missed all
bunch-
of it.
I was posting a bunch of shit to my
That's
Instagram.
so funny.
So I
No,
like.
that pretzel did not look good.
Yeah, the pretzel wasn't the best. Like even the beer cheese. There's a lot more beer than cheese in that thing too. But
Sounds like my kind of cheese.
you don't get drunk off it, unfortunately. Otherwise, but so like there's like I was hoping there was gonna be like this huge comic book store. There was like a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff, and even people were saying that there's gonna be the statue to Stan Lee in there. There was like the only mention of Stan Lee I found was over by the Monsters Inc. ride, where Captain America and Spider-Man would pose for pictures before Avengers Campus opened.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I mean, walking in there and hearing the theme song was awesome. Seeing the logo was cool. Other than that, it's kind of bare bones. But of course, sometimes once again, pandemic, they had to stop production. They had to stop building it right in the middle. So they probably just got what they could to get out. There's this big giant building where the Quinjet is. It looks like you can go inside, but we can't go inside yet. So I don't know if they're gonna change that into something further down the line. You can beat the characters though. The characters, they do pop up every once in a while, but you can't like go up and give them hugs. They're behind a line, so you can still just take selfies with them. So I got a picture of Spider-Man, and of course I wore my Spider-Man Vans. I yelled, "You're on my shoes, Spider-Man!" And he saw them, and that was cool.
I saw the all over the internet, and you posted it. The spider drone doing the flip, the stun
sure.
drone. That
Mhm.
thing is awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't see that.
Oh, okay.
So
But
other
yeah,
people saw it. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, there's a Spider-Man show that the Tom Holland Spider-Man does, and then it looks like the actor swings from a thing,
Right.
like launches
Yeah,
himself.
it's
but
a drone robot that they were working on for a while that like it can mimic the actions of Spider-Man, like doing a flip through the
Yeah.
air as he web swings,
Mhm.
and it lands
Mhm.
on its feet on the other building.
It is really cool.
Technology.
Mhm.
It is cool. Like I was watching the test videos. A friend of the podcast, John Radley, he keeps up on some of that Disney tech stuff before it hits market. So he was like, "Yo, they're building this thing,"
Yeah.
because he saw the copyright stuff for the drone.
Mhm.
The patents, and he's like, yeah, this is happening. And then a few months later the video came out of it in practice before it even had the suit on, when it was just the robot.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool for sure.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing that they did with Galaxy's Edge, which is one ride and then the other ride later, because there's a
Just
second ride
like
to come, and
well,
it's
Just like Avengers the game, they're just going to patch in the rest of
Well,
the good stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, Guardians is still there. Like the only place you can actually buy comic books, as far as I know, is the gift shop when you get out of Guardians
that's
of the
true.
Galaxy.
There's no comic shop.
There's no comic shop. There is like a nice little homage to Peggy Carter. It's over by the web store.
Nor at this moment will there ever be one.
Yeah, which kind of buzzed me out, but oh well. But I did go on Web Slingers. I was able to go on Web Slingers, which is the new big ride. That's the new virtual queue ride at
Sure.
the park. We were able to get it the second time around because the first when we woke up that morning, my girlfriend and I, we woke up at like 6:30. We were on our phones because you can do the virtual queue before you go to the park, since the park opens at 9.
Nine.
Yeah, those things were gone in a second.
Right.
So we're ordering our food, and thankfully the cast member who was taking our food order was kind of have to wait because Fanny is a legacy pass holder. So we were just like, it was like right at noon. I'm just like, sorry. It's like, luckily there's only a minute to go. We got the thing, and think of Web Slingers is cool, but think of it as Toy Story Midway Mania on steroids, and you're 10 times more tired when you get off the ride.
Oh,
Mm.
because you're actually doing the motion
Yeah,
scan.
it's really
Right.
cool because it scans you. You can actually see your motion on this little screen in front of you, but you have to constantly like do the web motion and go. There's like these little tutorial posters throughout the queue of the ride. So before you get into the actual ride car, there's like little tips like, hey, you can like sling a thing, and then you could like move objects around. You could also do this. But it's cool, but man, that works out your arms so much. And we got like, it was just Fanny and myself in one car, and because it's like it seats people 4 and 2 it's like 2v2, but all 4 of you are on the same team.
Okay.
And the more points you get, and then cool. There's leaderboards inside the ride exit and inside the Web Slinger store, which is right across the way.
Mhm.
Yeah. If you get by the Web Slinger toys or the items that you can get, they will demolish those leaderboards, because there's people who were scoring in the millions.
Yeah.
And all we got combined was like, I can't remember, like 300,000 points, give
You're
or
saying
take.
you got to get your Harry Potter wand to care about your score.
Essentially, yes.
Uh-huh.
So it's because I remember when people were found out that the Web Slingers ride is air quotes pay to win. It's not pay to win. You don't win anything, but if you want the bragging rights to score, then to help you get those
Because you want to win.
those armbands, which are like $30 a piece.
Sure.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
thanks.
If the score matters to you.
Yeah, if the score matters to you.
I also imagine you work harder or
Yeah.
work less hard.
Yeah, because when we got off the ride, we were just like, panting and thinking, well, I'm not doing arm day tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, the ride was good. I highly enjoyed it, but I still think Rise of Resistance is like the best ride I've
Oh
ever
well,
been on.
I don't think they're
at
super
Disneyland.
comparable.
No. I mean, it's still a good ride, though. I still highly enjoy it.
The next ride that's supposed to come to Avengers Campus is supposed to be as
That
like
that's
supposedly is supposed to be as like intense as Rise of the Resistance.
Nice.
Oh man,
yeah.
Rise of the Resistance is so good.
It is. Besides that, I also saw the Doctor Strange show, which I highly recommend seeing it at night and not in the middle of the day, because there's a lot of cool light stuff that's going on above you, and you can't see it when the sun is out. So
Interesting.
see that at night. Besides that, it was a good day at California Adventure.
Nice.
We mostly spent the day in we had to wait like 30 minutes to get into Avengers Campus, because we just want to go straight in and enjoy it, and then enjoy the rest of the park.
Sure.
But as the day went on, there was no line to get inside. So it went from right when the park opens, there's
the
like
same
an
thing.
hour and a lot.
Mhm.
There was like an hour, or there was like a 30-minute or so wait, and then past noon, doesn't matter.
This is the same thing that happened with Galaxy's Edge when it first opened, when it did Rise of the Resistance, all that. Like
Mhm.
people are crowding it for the first half of the day, and then everybody's gone and done their thing. Especially if there's not waiting for the virtual queue anymore, they're like, "Cool, I've checked it out."
Yeah. I mean, I still enjoy it. I still like it. I love just listening to the Avengers music the whole time.
Yeah.
And the food mostly was pretty good. The panini I had was decent. I just don't get the pretzel.
Gotcha.
The pretzel was not that good.
Was there other stuff from your 2 weeks?
Yeah, there was other stuff. So after Avengers, I went to Arizona to visit my grandmother. And guys, Arizona's hot.
Oh yeah.
Like the only thing I want to talk about is when we were driving into the desert. Is right when I crossed the Colorado River to get into Arizona, the little temperature gauge on my car went from like 95 degrees in California. The second I crossed the border into Arizona, 110.
It's illegal to be that hot. in
It
California.
just jumped.
Yeah.
The highest it got was 124.
That's definitely illegal.
Yeah, I was like, and even when I was there, I was talking to my family. He's like, "Hey, Arizona's so great." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a high of 115 outside." My dad on Father's Day, my dad rode down to Phoenix to watch the Dodgers play the Diamondbacks, and it was 115 outside. Apparently, it was like 99 inside the baseball park. I'm like, "No, thank you."
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
okay.
Yeah, we got home in California. Once we got home in California, it's like high of 82, low of 50s, like low of 59 in the evening. We actually sat outside for dinner, and it was nice.
Look at
That's
that.
crazy.
12 hours earlier, when we left Arizona at 7:00 in the morning, it was already cresting 99 degrees.
Hey man, different
Yeah.
places, different
Yeah,
temperatures.
it's hot. So besides Avengers Campus and going to Arizona to see my family, I didn't do a whole lot. Very minimal video games. Very minimal Metroid 2 Samus Returns on my 3DS. I did. What else did I do? Oh yeah, I did read a few of my comic books. I read some of my books. I
Nice.
read Excalibur and X-Force. I only got like through 3 issues, and then I had to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to try and get through the rest of my stack before I go to comic book store next Saturday. So that's pretty much all I did. My big thing was Avengers Campus.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, similar to you guys, I had stuff come up this past week. I had to go up to Monterey for my dad's surgery, pacemaker surgery. He's fine now. It's great. Good job. But I did do a bit. So let me just subtly grab my thing and make sure that I don't screw this up. All right. I went to see the movie Wrath of Man with Jason Statham. It's the new Guy Ritchie.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I just remembered one other movie.
Go
that,
ahead.
I watched the Map of Tiny Perfect Things, and that is a tiny perfect movie.
Yeah.
Time loops, baby.
I like that movie a
You
lot.
can't go wrong. I will say, like, just for you guys who haven't seen it, the cool thing about this time loop movie is the moment you start it, the guy is already in the loop.
Yeah.
He's been in the loop for a while. and it's obvious because like he's already ahead of the curve on things.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's really refreshing. That's nice. That's it.
So I saw the movie Wrath of Man with Jason Statham.
Cool.
That's the new Guy Ritchie film. Perfectly serviceable.
Sounds like Statham's MO.
Yeah, I mean,
Perfectly serviceable.
Statham does play a mafia boss this time, and not like a gun for hire or a hitman.
Okay.
Ooh.
So that's different. But going from The Gentleman to Wrath of Man, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched the last ever Gamera movie, Gamera the Brave. Thanks to Sparks, he loaned it to me. This is the last movie that came out in 2006. It's to this date the last say on Gamera in Japan. That's really good. I'm sad I didn't get to see it before.
Oh, cool.
I really liked it.
I'm glad.
That's got a really cool new monster design in the monster that Gamera fights. Gamera, the idea is that this kid finds a baby Gamera 30 years after Gamera Gamera saved the
Original
world.
Gamera.
Yeah. And so the idea is that he sacrificed himself to destroy all the Gauss, and he's been gone for 30
All
years.
the gout.
Gauss. It's a villain.
Oh, okay.
It's a bird monster that's not Rodan. Definitely not Rodan.
Not Rodan at all.
And the idea is that this kid finds an egg, and the egg hatches, and it's just a full-size turtle. And so that's baby Gamera. It's a full-size turtle
Nice.
who can fly.
And he just comes out. He's like, "Cowabunga!"
There's a really cool bit where it's just the turtle in the kitchen. It's kind of a kids movie, but it's also really fun. It's got a nice heart. It's got a nice heart between the father and the son.
Most of the Gameras that aren't the trilogy are kids movies.
Yeah, this one I felt was the better done of them, of the ones I've seen. But I haven't seen all the Showa, so I can't say that.
It's also like it's made more for kids in the age that you're closer to.
Yes.
Whereas the Showa is like made for kids from the 60s.
Yes.
So
but I really liked it. I was surprised. I thought it was really good.
that's cool, man.
I
to
recommend
hear
it. I watched Thor, which I really like. I think that's an underrated MCU movie.
Sure.
And I watched The Avengers. That's a great movie, guys.
Really like underrated Avengers movie.
I don't know. I mean, I hate to blow your minds, but The Avengers is a great movie.
It's true.
Damn it, Whedon.
Yeah, right.
I may or may not have been listening to the Avengers films before I went to Galaxy's Edge.
Do it.
Avengers. No, I did. I was listening to them at work because I have Disney Plus on my
you
phone,
did.
and I just popped them in my. I just turned them on. I was like, I just want to listen to it.
I'm going through a bit of a Loki thing, so I'm going to watch Dark World and the Ragnarok. Or I can stop now and just go into Loki, as there's a mess going on down somewhere.
I don't
Who knows
know.
where that was?
And then I watched. I'll do this one next. I finished Kim's Convenience, which is the Canadian show that's on Netflix at the Korean family. Simu Liu, who plays Shang-Chi. Sorry. That's a great show. And the person who canceled it should be dragged by their toenails through the streets and strung up by them.
So I've read a lot of what I haven't watched the show, but I've read a lot of what Simu Liu has had to say about it. And so do you feel like in the last season there were a lot of scripts that were not serving the characters? Because in some ways he was like, look, I'm really upset that the show was canceled, but also there was an amount, I'm paraphrasing, but there was an amount of blessing to it because they were mishandling a lot of the characters with the direction they were taking it.
Yeah, I don't know if I can say to that. I did read the woman who plays the mom on Kim's Convenience. She also posted something that to back up Simu Liu about the idea that MS is not something that Korean women tend to get. It's a really rare disease for them, and they diagnosed her with MS, and she took issue with that. It's like, why MS? Why not something else?
Sure.
So I do know that was a problem.
Right. I'm pretty much going entirely off what Simu Liu had to say, but his most recent thing was talking about there was a lot of not great representational stuff going on in that last season.
Yeah, I kind of wish what had happened is that because I do know that the cast made a bid for the show. I kind of wish that had happened.
Sure.
It's a really great show. I really like it.
Yeah.
It's really quick to get through, and the finale leaves much to be desired, only in the way of it really shouldn't have been the finale. But I really liked it.
Nice.
I watched Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6, Furious 7, and The Fate of the Furious this week.
Oh my goodness.
Not this week, last week, because again, I was going out of town, so I wanted to shotgun them with my girlfriend because she had not seen them.
Shotgun. That's Dom's favorite gun.
That's true. I love Fast Five. My love for Fast Five is well documented. I think that movie is incredible. To me, it is the best this franchise has ever gotten.
I think most people would agree with you.
Yeah. I don't feel like that's a controversial opinion.
No.
But I love that movie. I love the cast in that movie. I always forget about Leo and Santos because they're not in the movies afterwards. Not really, anyway. Just happy to see Santos in this one. Spoiler alert.
They were in Fate of the Furious.
That's right. They have a small part.
Small
in Fate of the
cameo,
Furious, yeah. So Fast
They
Five.
pop up in weird ways.
Yeah.
Even in this one.
Fast and Furious
family.
6. Fast and Furious 6. That's Justin Lin's last movie. That is the one where we lose Giselle and eventually Han.
Until this movie.
I like that one. I think that one's really fun. Luke Wilson is great.
Oh my
Not
god.
Luke Wilson.
What?
Nope.
Boy, that would have been.
Try
You got the
again?
first part right.
Luke Evans?
Luke Evans.
Uh-huh.
Luke Wilson would be funny though.
I was like, what crack
See,
did I just get on?
He would be like one of the the agents, like Mr. Nobody.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be a Fast and a Furious guy.
No, he'd be what? Yeah. Mhm.
I couldn't even imagine.
But the Fast and Furious 6, that's the one where Letty comes back and they have the 90-yard runway.
Yes.
Oh god.
I've seen-
Oh yeah, with the plane. Yeah,
Yeah.
We've seen these movies.
I like this movie a lot. I like the movie. I think it's the closest that gets to Fast 5 at this point. And then I watched Furious 7. No shame on Furious 7. James Wan did the best he could because Paul Walker passed away well into filming. The way they bring back, because we never talked about it on the show because we were a show after Furious 7 came out, but the idea that Paul Walker wasn't in as many scenes as I thought freaked me out. Because I was watching a breakdown of the CGI scenes, and he's not in Dubai at all.
Mhm.
None of the scenes in Dubai have Paul
Right.
Walker in them. And I'm like, damn, I had no idea.
No, they do a really good job between the CGI work that they do and his brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really great. The only time that I notice is the scene that splices in Fast 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a bit on the plane where Dom cuts him off. for
Everybody
some reason.
notices that one.
Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
only one that I find awkward. Other than that, damn, he might as well have just been in the whole movie.
Sure.
I really that's a great movie.
I empathize every time I watch Furious 7. I'm like, for whatever amount of flaw I could find in the film,
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't really knock you for it. Like, I mean,
For losing-
you were doing like hard work while in a state of emotional trauma. Like,
Yeah.
And Furious 7 is also the James Wan, who was a green director to the franchise. It was his first movie. Like Justin Lin not bailed. He wanted to do other things, but James Wan had to deal with the fact that Paul Walker died and not be a alum to the franchise.
if Justin Lin had any weird sense of what was going to happen, I think he would have stayed.
Probably, yeah. I think so. Also, I noticed after watching all 7 Saw movies, I noticed James Wan's editing.
Oh, sure.
In Fast and Furious 7, I thought that was funny. There's bits that like are choppy editing like in Saw. And then there's Fate of the Furious. I've turned a bit on Fate of the Furious as I've gotten further away from it. I think it's a fun movie, but I'm not crazy about how it handles the franchise going forward. Something of which I do not have in this movie. I'm happy with F9. I want to just say. But Fate of the Furious is still a good time. I did not get a chance to do Hobbs and Shaw. I just did not have the time, but I would have if I did.
It's also just not necessary for the road to F9.
That's true. And then I read 2 comics. I read Venom 200. I think that book is great. Love Donny Cates.
Oh my God, yeah, that came out.
Yep. And I do want to talk a bit about the I think the best thing I did, which is I finished Birthright. Birthright is a comic I've been reading since 2013. I think it's an incredible book written by
Joshua Williamson.
Joshua Williamson and Ed Brisson.
Really thought you were going to say
Not Ed
James
Brisson.
Wan.
Andrea Brisson.
I haven't read it in a long time, so
Yeah.
I don't know the other one. The other name?
But it's an incredible book. I've been reading it single issues ever since it first came out. I realized that I've been reading comics for a decade now. Actually, this month probably.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it looks
dude,
like
me too.
I'm looking back at Birthright. It looks like it's Brisson. Yeah.
Yes. I love that book. I love that book every single time I read it. There's some great issues at the end there, and I'm just really happy that it got to have that 50 issue ending. That they told the entire arc of their story, and it was solid all the way through and really emotional. I'm sad to see it go, but I'm happy that book exists.
Oh yeah.
And that's it. That's done.
It's cool.
Sweet.
Shall we get into our B&B?
Why not?
Let's
Yum
do
yum
it.
yum time.
Oops, that alarm.
And we're back. We actually don't get to hear this time, which is strange for us.
I know it's
Real weird.
But here we go. We got some sad news up top.
Sure.
Joanne Linville, who played a Romulan commander in Star Trek: The Original Series, passed away. She was one of the first Romulans we ever saw. Banged Captain Kirk dressed as a Romulan.
There you go.
Okay.
What a legacy.
She passed away this week at the age of 93.
Woo! What a
Good
life.
innings.
So long life.
Yeah.
And then Lisa Baines, it's probably at this point most notable for Gone Girl, but has had a long career, film and television. Passed away this year, this 2 weeks ago, I think, at the age of 65. She was struck by a scooter.
Oh.
Who's she in Gone Girl?
She's the older lady in Gone Girl.
I don't know. Let me look it up.
I don't remember that movie well enough, I guess.
She was struck by a scooter in a hit and run.
That's
So
awful.
a scooter hit her, and
Yeah,
that
that's
sucks.
awful.
65 years old.
Oh, yeah. She's, I reckon, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a character
that
actress in a lot of stuff.
sucks.
Yeah. I didn't know her name because she's like, that's awful. Yeah.
It's one of those faces. It's like, hey, I know you. I just don't know your
Yeah,
name.
a super big character.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a shitty way to go.
Yeah, it really is. I've time coded all the news. So if you don't want to hear to your last week's news, sorry, Meg. But last week's news is time coded as its own thing, and then we'll go into.
We
this
are
week's
his
news.
one-stop shop for news. He doesn't get any other news, so he's 2 weeks behind right now.
That's true.
That's the only
Mag's
way.
practically a monk
That's the way I see
in
it.
terms of pop culture until
Yeah,
this
yeah.
happens.
Last week, after many tweets, I'm sure, of asking, Tom Taylor finally announced that his Marvel event, Dark Ages, will finally be coming to comic shops with art by Iban Coelho.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
That looks right. Or that sounds right. Yeah.
It's going to be a six issue miniseries. And this is what was teased in the Free Comic Book Day special last year.
This has been
Wow.
this has been in development for a long time.
Yes.
Man, pandemics
Pandemics are awful,
weird.
man.
This was pushed because of the pandemic. There's a couple pages in last year's X-Men Free Comic Book Day special.
This was, I think, originally supposed to come out around the same time that the DC's the Dark Winter thing.
Yeah.
And then Dark Age just went off the map.
Endless Winter.
Endless Winter. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So the highly anticipated limited series will see heroes from every corner of the Marvel Universe unite against a new threat and fail. Their defeat will usher in an exciting new age full of heartbreaking loss and unimaginable stakes. As the world is remade, fans will meet fascinating new versions of their favorite heroes as they fight to overcome insurmountable odds and restore hope to the universe. September 1st.
It sounds like he's doing
sweet.
Deceased.
So, yeah, I was gonna say. So Marvel was like, "Yo, Tom, you want to come do Deceased for Marvel?" And he's like,
Exactly.
"I mean, I'm gonna change my work, but sure."
So he's doing just like, yo, I'm gonna make an Elseworlds Avengers book, but like, and just like make like cool stakes because I can do whatever I want because it's an Elseworlds book.
Nobody is safe.
Nobody's
Hey,
saying that's
man,
great.
I'll check it out.
I mean, like the first art was like Iron Man gets like his leg literally blown off, like falling
Yeah.
through a building. So I'm like, that was like a year and a half ago.
Brandon, you had me at the words Tom Taylor and Marvel.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Mag says, just like to hear your opinion on the news. Thank you.
Oh,
Mag.
I love
appreciate
you, man.
that.
You're the best,
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm really stoked for this. I love Tom Taylor. Everything he does is gold to me.
dude. He keeps putting up new Superman, Son of Kal-El art.
So
I
excited.
cannot believe how stoked I am for that.
So excited.
That's really cool.
Deathstroke Inc. was announced also last week,
Ooh.
from Joshua Williamson, who's doing a lot in the Infinite Frontier era.
He's also doing Robin, and he's dealing with like Deathstroke and his kids and stuff. in that
Yeah.
book.
Joshua Williamson will be writing Deathstroke Inc. with art by Howard Porter. After suffering too many losses, Slade Wilson decides it's time for a change when he's enlisted to work with an ages-old secret organization called Trust, Trust, who want to take down the heavy hitter villains. He's all in. They'll supply him with an all-new team and resources for his new mission into the depths of the weirdest parts of the DCU, including a new partner, Black Canary.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
What?
Enjoy explosions, kick-ass action, and new outrageous adventures as DC's meanest SOB gets tangled up in a major mystery building in the shadows of the DCU.
Is that wait what in the synopsis?
It
Or
is.
is that you?
It
It is in the synopsis.
Because that made me actually go, wait, what?
Yeah.
So two guys that are doing extremely good work right now are Joshua Williamson and James Tynion IV. Those are both guys that in the past I have felt have been very B level, not in terms of like they're bad, but it's like their quality level isn't there yet. And now that they're being allowed to like kind of do what they want and they're not like under the shadows of other creators, they're doing exceptional stuff. Like Batman's killing it right now. Joshua Williamson, like you said, with Infinite Frontier, like
Robin is so good.
Robin's good. I'm a little behind, but like because they were sold out of the issues, but like I'm excited for that book. I'm glad. Like I'm into Deathstroke when he's really good, and I like Joshua Williamson, so I'll probably check issue 1 out.
Yeah, I'm actually really sad that I'm not picking up his Future State Gotham book, which is the Red Hood book,
Yeah.
Mhm.
because apparently it's black and white.
Oh,
And I'm like, if I had known that,
artsy. What?
I'll catch it. I'll catch you in trade, guys.
Yeah.
yeah, seriously.
I already get too much.
Oh, I get it.
Remember Gene Yang? We were so excited that Gene Yang was doing Batman Superman.
Yeah.
I was,
Unfortunately,
but I didn't buy it.
It is canceled.
Boo.
Batman Superman will be ending with issue 22.
This week, a new issue came out. I don't remember what number, but sick ass cowboy variant.
Yeah.
For Batman and Superman. It was like an old pulpy cowboy variant cover for the two of them. I
Yeah.
was like,
Nice.
this is kind of cool.
I really like the book. I think it's really great.
I just have to wonder if that's they already have so many books out, like the sales aren't there. Unfortunately.
It must be, but it sucks because Gene Yang deserves to be on Superman.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
But don't take Tom Taylor off.
Yeah, don't take.
I can't.
Philip
I can't.
Kennedy Johnson.
No,
There you go.
give
Oh, yeah.
give Yang
Action.
comic.
I
Yeah.
forgot that book even existed.
Most people will as soon as Superman Son of Kal-El comes out.
Hell yeah.
All right, E3. We teased it at
Yes.
the top. There was E3
Electronics.
last week. We're just going to talk about Nintendo.
Yes.
So
And briefly.
how about someone else pick it up because I don't.
Okay. So yeah, the biggest thing, because we talked about a bunch of E3 stuff like 2 weeks ago. It was like 2 weeks ago, and pretty much the biggest thing that came out after that was Nintendo. If you want to see the whole stuff, once again, Basic Arcade Pause Menu, newest episode that's up or coming up soon. All the stuff that we're going to talk about is there with me, Inga, and Patrick. But Nintendo, I'm just going to say this: Metroid. What the?
Are you okay?
Oh,
What
Emma
happened?
attacked me.
What happened?
Emma attacked me.
Oh, sorry.
Oh Jesus!
Jeez.
Oh,
You okay?
it hurts
Scared-
really bad.
Scared the shit out of me.
She
dude.
scratch you?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Emma.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We
It's
can't
okay.
derail. We're live.
Wow.
Let me
All
just
right,
go
ride the
ahead.
pain.
Go ahead, Ben.
Okay. Jesus. All right. So, Metroid Dead. Metroid Dread.
Oh,
Hell
yeah.
yes.
I feel dead.
Metroid Dread. That's the thing that essentially saved the entire conference for me because holy shit, that looks awesome. Advanced Wars 1 and 2 are getting reboot.
That's awesome. That's amazing. That's incredible.
And Breath of the Wild looks awesome, but also I'm a nostalgia bitch, so I'm gonna buy the Zelda Game & Watch because I can't help myself.
Yeah. My one E3 prediction that came true was that they'll show Breath of the Wild. Everything else was a failure.
I'm giving myself the Metroid one just as like a semi.
You said Metroid Prime 4.
You can't set
I
rules.
watched it. You
Yeah.
said Metroid
We
Prime 4.
specifically
You
made
shut
rules.
up. You
Yeah.
also said they'll announce Metroid Prime 1 through 3 on Switch. You
Yeah.
were in every way wrong.
All right,
and
all
like
right.
it's still cool that they announced a Metroid thing,
No points for you.
but no,
All right.
you were full of shit. Sorry.
It was my prediction.
No, I get you, and you didn't get it.
That's so good.
Nintendo Direct did have a really good E3 showing. The Super Mario Party one is interesting. It's
Yeah.
not what I
Mhm.
anticipated for the next Mario
It's a lot of
Party.
games,
They're
though.
bringing back a whole bunch of the stuff from previous games,
Yeah.
which is cool. I know that's one that will be got for our house very quickly because Megan loves Super Mario Party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying. Like the
WarioWare is coming back too.
WarioWare.
is so good.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't have a lot of connection to that. It's never been
I love
it's never been
minigames.
major for me, but this one might appeal more because this is a heavier focus on co-op play.
Mhm.
I have always liked WarioWare more than Mario Party because I find the WarioWare mini games to be 100 times more exciting and fun than a lot of the Mario Party games. But that's personally me.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not knocking that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do like that there's a greater focus for like co-op play for this one.
Yeah.
I think that's going to make it a greater appeal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Metroid news is exciting. I will say, like, while I am excited about Metroid Dread getting announced specifically for you, Ben, kind of sucks that they still can't seem to get anything about like, oh, we're gonna bring like classic Metroid
Right.
to the Switch proper off the
Right.
ground, or the Prime stuff. Granted, like they still could bring Metroid Prime 1 through 3 there, but
I'd like to imagine
who knows?
that
Yeah.
they will do that, but probably closer to the release of Prime
That's
4.
what I'm betting for. And technically, and also if you're subscribed to the Nintendo Switch Online, you can play Super Metroid,
So I'm
which
gonna-
is the SNES Metroid, which everyone's saying is like not just Super Metroid, but also the original one on the NES. So you have Metroid 1 and Metroid 3 because Metroid 2, when it first came out, was a Game Boy game.
So I'm not gonna like, say it's Nintendo's own game property, Metroid. So like, that they might take more love and care to it. However, I was listening to that group talk about this was Waypoint again, them talk about Republic Commando on the Switch, and that they pretty much like did nothing to fix it up
Yeah, they
for
shit it out.
the Switch presentation, and so like that game plays better on the Xbox. And I am nervous that will, like, Metroid Prime will straight up end up looking better if you pop the GameCube disc into your Wii than it will on the Switch when they do the port, because I am nervous about Nintendo just not putting the effort in.
You're scared that they're going to do another Super Mario 3D All-Star situation.
I think we all should be, because like I think it's really disappointing that Nintendo doesn't seem to want to take full advantage of what, like, they can print money on the Switch with so many titles, and they're just not doing it. And when they do it, they seem to do it half-assed. That has me the most nervous about these kind of things, which I think is a big bummer. Like, it's great that we're getting Metroid Dread. I'm like, I don't know how you're not pulling this off.
Yeah.
Especially as you brought up, Ben, like, this is something that didn't come up in the anticipation of E3, but I assume that you were thinking it, like, because it's Zelda's anniversary. Sure, they showed Breath of the Wild 2, Ben, but they didn't announce anything for Zelda to come, like, beyond Skyward Sword. That's all we're getting.
No, the only thing they announced, the only thing they announced for Zelda's 35th anniversary was the Game & Watch.
That's 3 things.
Right, but I mean, like, what Ben was saying is, like, this is Zelda's big anniversary, just like Mario had a big anniversary. Shouldn't we be getting, like, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Link Between Worlds all in a collection on the Switch? Shouldn't that be a thing that's happening at this point?
It should be a thing, but it's not a
greedy.
Thing,
which is just you know, another example of
a lot of fans. Once the dust settled and the euphoria came down, a lot of fans were criticizing. It's like, oh, all we're getting is a Game & Watch for Zelda. I mean, cool, you're doing the same thing you did for Mario, but Mario had an entire collection of classic games.
At least they're not killing Zelda.
True. There was. I mean, as far as we know, nothing.
As far as we know,
as far as I know, E3 there was a. I mean, I don't know if they are going to do a Zelda Direct later on. They probably aren't.
Not this year, no.
Definitely not this year. But
I think that ship sailed at this point.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully if they continue production on the Zelda Game & Watch, which would be nice, so that way, because scalpers suck, because they bought up all the Metroid Dread special editions, because I didn't even know there was a special edition until I looked at Twitter 3 hours later.
Yo, real quick, Metroid Dread looks sick, and it's also introducing like a Resident Evil style, like Mr. X who hunts you down.
Yes.
And he just like follows you throughout the map, like Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil 8. It's sick. I am so excited for that game still.
I am too. That looks really cool.
I'm gonna do my damnedest to get a special edition, but if I can, I'll sell with the standard edition, because I'm buying the game no matter what. And same with the Game & Watch, because holy shit, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
Real quickly, Mag says happy with Advance Wars 2. Surprised with
Danganronpa.
Yeah. That's a very
that's
popular.
a weird one.
Danganronpa is a very popular what's it called? Talkie. What Talkie games? What are they called? Visual novel. It's basically just like a narrative. Just narrative.
Yeah. And also, quick thing, Advance Wars was the one thing I did not know I wanted.
I lose my mind for that one. Yeah.
Holy crap. When they said you want to start Nation, because I just got the first GBA game for Advance Wars. Those are getting hard to find.
Then the last E3 the talk that we had on E3, we were talking about how like Advance Wars, like, they're never going to bring it back. We literally talked about that.
And guess what? They are.
There it is.
That's why this, like, Nintendo really brought it to E3.
Yeah. So this E3, that's why I made that video of Jesus blessing me with the E3 Direct. Or Nintendo blessing me with the E3 Direct.
Thank you.
But yeah, E3, that's what happened. Nintendo, yay.
Very surprising that the Switch Pro or Switch Next Gen announcement.
The funny thing is, this exact same thing happened with the Switch and the Switch Lite. All the rumors were that the thing was coming out, and then like 3 weeks later, it did get announced.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, we know it's coming. It's just like, ooh.
Everybody's known it's coming for like a year. They're like, it's clearly going to happen. I think everybody was really anticipating like, oh, they're gonna like bring E3 home with that, and they didn't. And I will admit, like, that was really shocking.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked if we get a closer announcement to that with like Breath of the Wild 2.
I suspect that they don't want to roll out like the PS5 and the Xbox for manufacturing reasons. And I think that we might actually not see it this holiday, which is why it wasn't announced, is because they want to make sure there are enough units in stores. And I think if they push for holiday this year, there might not be.
Also fix the Joy-Con drift that has one. All right, final question on E3. Breath of the Wild 2022. Yay, nay, and if yay, when in the year? Go.
I don't know when in the year, but it's definitely next year. Because Nintendo's good about
like when I think it'll come out.
Yeah, because they said 2022. If you say yes 2022, when in 2022?
A year from now.
Nintendo has a better track record of actually hitting their dates. So I suspect that the fact that they announced one means it will be 2022. But I also, like Ryan, believe it will be pretty much cut in the sleeve at the very end of the year.
Me too. I'm thinking November holiday release for Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hear more of what Ben had to say, because Ryan and I couldn't attend on Basement Arcade Pause Menu.
Yeah.
Pretty face. All right. Assassin's Creed. We know that the Assassin's Creed TV series is coming. We now know that it'll be written by Jeb Stewart, who is probably most known for his script for Die Hard.
This is wild because this is like an old, not like old guy, but like Die Hard's obviously from the 80s. So like this guy's like a established dude.
Yeah.
That's all. This gave me like super big hope, and they want to like focus on action and stuff.
Yeah, he also did The Fugitive.
That movie's awesome,
and then he retired for like 13 years.
dude. That's awesome.
And then had started doing stuff again in 2010. But he's also currently, because I know you watch the Vikings TV series, he's doing the spinoff Valhalla.
That's
Ooh.
incredible.
Yeah.
This guy's just like, I want to make stuff again. 13 years later.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So he's doing it. So cool. It's
Man,
happening.
Good for him.
That's man. We watched that movie, right?
Make it better than the movie.
We watched that movie, and I
We
forgot
did.
it.
I didn't watch that movie. You guys
It's all
did.
right.
I remembered everything that took place in the past.
Yeah.
Yes.
That stuff was cool.
Star Trek Prodigy, the new Star Trek show coming to Nickelodeon and Paramount Plus.
Another animated.
Another animated.
Another
yes.
one.
Another one.
This is by the studio and two of the writers from Trollhunters.
Nice.
DreamWorks Trollhunters. I'm really excited for this. We got who the cast is going to be. We got a reveal. It's on the internet. You can see what these people look like. But really quickly, Riley Alazraqui, sure,
Okay.
will play Rocktalk, a bricker, brickar. I don't know how they pronounce the name because it's an in-book character alien species and never actually been on screen.
Okay.
So he's first time on screen, so first time canon, and an unusually bright 8-year-old girl who is described as being a bit shy, but not when it comes to her love for animals.
Well, gee, look at that.
Brett
Whoa.
Gray will play Doll, D-A-L, a hopeful 17-year-old from an unknown species who apparently fancies himself a maverick of the crew.
Ooh.
Keep away
Angus
from-
Imrie, what?
I was gonna say keep away from a goose.
Angus Imrie, who, if anybody's seen The Kid Who Would Be King, he plays young Merlin.
Okay.
He will play a Medusan.
That dude was pretty good.
Yeah, he's going to play a Medusan called Zero. A Medusan is a character is a species from the original series, a non-corporeal, genderless, energy-based life form who wears a containment suit to protect the other shipmates.
Okay.
Jason Mantzoukas. Now we're getting the people we actually have heard about. Jason Mantzoukas.
He's in everything.
Right. Will play Jankum Pog,
Bless you.
a 16-year-old Tellarite who is likely to bring some debate to the team as he is known for playing devil's advocate.
You get him.
Ella Purnell will play Gwyn, a 17-year-old Van Nakat who was raised on her father's bleak mining planet and grew up dreaming to explore the stars. I don't know what that species
These
is.
are all words.
And then D. Bradley Baker, who is currently doing The Bad Batch, will play Murph, whose age and species are unknown, but who is described as an endearing and destructible blob with curiously good timing and an insatiable appetite for ship parts.
What's up? I'm Burf.
Burf.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the cast. That show is happening.
Cool.
Sweet.
Star Trek continues
Star
to
Trek,
make
guys.
things.
Yeah. I'm excited, so I wanted to bring that up. I
Yeah.
think it's cool that we're getting some traction there.
Traction.
I didn't want to do it on purpose.
Yeah, I know.
Vulcan 5.
No. John Wick Chapter 4 has cast Hiroyuki
Mhm.
Sonata,
Hell yeah.
who was last seen in Mortal Kombat Scorpion.
And an Army of the Dead. Nice.
Army of the Dead.
Having to do bad racist jokes.
And a long line of Chinese foreign films, foreign action films and things. He has joined Japanese. I think it's has joined John Wick Chapter 4. This is interesting because he was offered a role in John Wick Chapter 3 and chose to do Endgame instead.
And then he was in it for 2 minutes.
And then now he gets to do it again. Now he gets another shot.
I bet he regrets that, not for him being bad in that movie, but he was literally in that movie for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Mhm.
oh, I'd actually like to be an actor.
I guess the rumor was that he was supposed to be the bald dude in John Wick Chapter 3.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. That
Yeah.
would have been. Oh, that's the Master Chef guy.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's good in that though. So okay,
But now he gets another chance. He gets to be in John Wick Chapter 4. I'm very excited.
Very cool.
more
So
John
this
Wick.
guy a lot.
I'm into it.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat, though,
Good
we
over here.
we reviewed Mortal Kombat Legends of Scorpion.
We did.
We did.
Really enjoyed it on a whole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wanted
Well-
more.
we're getting more. A sequel is coming. Mortal Kombat Legends, Battle of the Realms.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, me too.
Unexpected, yeah.
This will reunite the original Scorpion's Revenge cast of Joel McHale, Jennifer Carpenter, and Jordan Rodriguez, who played Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade, and Liu Kang. Everyone else is coming back. I'm not going to read the whole list.
Yeah.
Great.
Nice.
But the new roster, because they're adding characters,
Of course.
will include Bayarda de Murguay as
Sure.
the second Sub-Zero.
Okay.
Matthew Mercer as Stryker and Smoke.
Ooh,
Oh, that's great.
All right.
Matt Yang King as Kung Lao.
Okay.
Emily O'Brien as Jade.
Uh-huh.
Deborah Wilson as Kitten Devora.
Devora is a bug lady. Deborah Wilson is she was the lady in the Star Wars game with Cal Kestis.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, is she like
Okay.
She was like the older black lady. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
cool.
love her.
Yeah, she's from
Okay.
Mad TV. That's where I know her most recently. from.
And then Paul Nakauchi.
Oh wow.
wait,
You just like sent me on a
hold
flashback
up,
there.
hold up. Quick time out for a second. Is that the same actor who does the famous Mad TV sketch of "Can I Have Your Number"?
No.
Is that the same
No,
person?
no. But it's
No.
the same
Okay.
show. Yeah.
Okay.
You're on the same track.
Paul Nakauchi will play a Lin Kuei Grandmaster.
Cool.
So yeah,
That's probably like a flashback.
So
thing.
excited to see that guy.
Me
That's great.
too.
That's cool.
yeah, I'm really excited for this. I like the first one. Happy for more.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
me
also
too.
it's cool that the sequel, which will still be like in the past of Mortal Kombat lore, is bringing in characters from MKX because Devora is a more recent character.
Yeah, the plot of this is, if anybody remembers the end of Mortal Kombat Legend Scorpion's Revenge, it ends with Shao Kahn ready to invade Earthrealm.
Yeah, that's MK3.
That's where we start in this movie.
That's right.
Great.
on. Hell yeah.
Love it.
Directed by Ethan Spalding with screenplay by Jeremy Adams, who did the first film, so they're returning,
Awesome.
and this will be out summer 2021.
It's not perfect, but it's good time.
Yeah.
I'm glad there's more Mortal Kombat coming.
Same.
Good times will be had by all.
Heads will roll.
Now we're in this week,
Woo, woo.
so that's this week. So if you didn't want to know the last week, welcome
Welcome.
back.
We're here.
Just gonna check the comments. Okay, The Amazing Spider-Man, the comic run for The Amazing Spider-Man.
Mhm.
The current run of Nick Spencer will be leaving 74.
It's a long
Weird number to
road.
go out
Yeah,
on.
Yeah.
I was, man.
Like one short of 75.
One more, come on.
It makes me think that like issue 75 will be like a weird like anniversary issue or
It's
something.
going to be big.
Yeah, it's gonna be like he'll still be on it with like a bunch of other people.
They
and
find an excuse.
it'll
to
be
make
the
a
Venom
lot of-
200 of the end of the run.
I don't
Yeah.
know if it will be, because
No?
so issue 74 will be an 80-page special,
Oh, okay.
which comes out September 22nd, and then issue 75
Oh, you
starts
have
the
it.
new run
Oh, okay. Shit.
Yeah.
with Zeb Wells, Kelly
But
Thompson, Saladin Ahmad, Cody Ziegler, and Patrick Gleason.
I thought I was
all-
getting a new number one, so this makes sense then. Okay.
Yeah, because I was
didn't know that.
I was about to say, I was like, if they start 75 as the new run, that kind of makes sense with ending at 74. But if it was like 74, then number one, then that'd be weird.
I respect that, first of all, because like when Tom King's Batman ended, everyone was like, "Are this going to renumber Batman number one?" But like, Tinian took over with like issue 100. And I respect that they want to keep the legacy numbering and stuff. So I'm glad that this is happening with the
Right.
numbering at least.
Sparks, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just going to say that it looks like they're just going for the reverse effect of like 75's where you jump in, baby.
Sure,
Yeah.
So it looks like that the new team, they're not gonna all write
Every week.
Spider-Man.
All the time.
It will be 3 times a month though.
Yeah.
Sure.
This
It's
is
gonna be triple shipping.
they've done this before. Back in like the mid 2000s, like when Spider-Man was super hot after the movies and stuff. Like they were doing thrice a month, which
Yeah.
is
Spider-Man's always hot, baby.
but especially when those
No, I
movies
get
were
you.
hot.
I get you.
Like that's just a lot of money.
Yeah, so this will usher in a new era called Spider-Man Beyond,
Yes.
which will probably have other Spider titles with some of these other writers. And Ben Reilly is the main Spider-Man.
You're goddamn
this
right
is-
he is.
I was literally just like complaining online, like this Nick Spencer run, like it's fine, but like it's boring. It's just boring, and that doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just boring. I am so tired of regular Peter Parker. I am like maybe I'm tired of Peter Parker, or they just do something. They should just do something new with him, like an Immortal Hulk. But instead, they're just going to throw him away, which I guess is fine. Ben Reilly's a really cool guy, and I'm so happy he's getting more spotlight because there's not a lot of people who even know he exists. It's great.
I don't share the opinion about Spencer's run, but
Yeah.
that's because I was burned by the slot era and wanted the
Mhm.
return.
Yeah.
But I am a Ben Reilly defender, so
Hell
you want
yeah.
to bring him back out of the word work? I am here for it.
Hell yeah.
We kind of have a good news, bad news sandwich, so I apologize for that.
Oh no.
X-Force Killshot.
Oh yeah.
Also announced
Oh.
this week.
Yeah.
Rob Liefeld will be returning to write a 30th anniversary special which will be a story about Cable and his counterparts assembling 5 different X-Force squads throughout time to converge on Asteroid S for an all-out assault to defeat Strife once and for all.
So at first, all I saw this news was people talking about Twitter about how X Factor got canceled and they're bringing back which was a very queer, powerful book.
Yes.
And then Marvel's bringing in
Such
a
a
guy
good book.
who has attacked queer writers before, and then he's
Not just queer writers, Ben. Attacked the X line in general.
yeah, that guy. So, and then of course, what else I read is like he's writing X Factor, and my heart sank because I absolutely love Benjamin Percy's X Factor.
X-Force.
Damn it, X Force.
They're good.
I love that X Force book, and my thought process was, son of a bitch, am I gonna have to not get rid of Am I have to get rid of X Force now? Am I gonna have to take that off my pull list?
Yeah.
Well, this X Force will not. It looks like it's just a one
The
shot.
anniversary issue.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo! Sorry, our cats ruined our thingy.
Mark.
Well, it's kind of like lopsided.
No, you need to move the actual head itself. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Better.
There you go.
There
That's
we
good.
go.
That's good.
Beautiful. We could definitely cut this out live. Yes, Ben, I share your sentiments. Rob Liefeld sucks. He's a big, bad jerk man. And it's not like he said these things, 20 years ago. He said them very, very recently,
Yeah.
literally months ago.
Yep, because pretty much my entire X Twitter feed was just fans just talking about how it's bullshit, how Rob Liefeld's coming to write an I almost said X Factor again, X Force story,
Yeah.
and yet X Factor got
X line
canceled.
anything. Don't
Yeah.
hire this man.
And here's the unfortunate thing at the end of the day is Rob Liefeld sells comics, and he sells comics not to us, but there's a lot of people, and this isn't disparaging to an entire generation, but older comics fans who grew up with Rob Liefeld. He has a sway on them that and I get it, dude. He created Deadpool, X Factor, New Mutants 198. That was huge issue. That dude
There's a whole generation who his Heroes Reborn thing is their jump back in on Marvel.
I read all of Heroes Reborn and I didn't read Heroes Return yet. Heroes Reborn, rules.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
It's really great.
Nice. Yeah. It's just they know he'll sell, and it's not again, he's not getting put on the main book because Marvel's they're not that stupid, but they love money more than they care about their fans.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna say
unfortunately-
Marvel. I'm gonna say Disney.
Disney, yeah. But at the end of the day, it's still CB Cebulski is the one who's hey, do you, he's the editor at Marvel, and he's
yeah.
he's allowing this to
Mhm.
happen, and at the end of the day, this shit, it sucks. Yeah.
Damn it, CB.
Yeah.
Hey guys, if you really like the X-Men comics that are going on right now, and you like comics in general, don't buy this book.
Yeah. I'm not worried about any of our friends or fans or the X community.
Don't buy this book.
I'm
And
still gonna
then-
buy the Benjamin Percy X Force book. 'Cause
Don't buy this
I'm
book.
buying the Benjamin Percy one
Yeah.
because he's actually
I also-
a good writer.
It's also funny because Major X, who is the character he created a couple years ago, that was a big failure, is in this book now because he wants it to be such a thing, and nobody cares.
Someone asked why I'm so happy that Major X didn't get bastardized by this current X era. And he's like, yeah, I took that character away from Marvel so fast. I didn't want him used in this era.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
You didn't want him
You
used.
definitely saved them, Rob, for sure.
Yeah.
You know what? The second that you said that, Ryan, made me think of the Mean Girls when it's stop trying to make Major X happen. He's not
True.
going to happen.
It's true, all of it. I'm pretty sure it's Storm's son. It's awful.
I don't know. Eternals.
Oh, cool. Eternals.
Eternals Thanos Rising is a new one-shot coming from Kieran Gillen and Dustin Weaver. Eternals are created, not born. They have families, but their families make no new children. It's simply not what Eternals do. Some of them thought they could find a way to change that and believed it would be for the best. They were terribly, terribly wrong. It's going to be Thanos' origin story.
So, I think some of you have read Thanos' origin story, and it's by Jason Aaron. It's called Thanos Rising.
Yes.
I'm very curious if they're going to just retcon that away. Hello? Am I sounding good?
Oh, you were a little loud.
low.
Oh, sorry. And I think that's a really fun book, and it explores like Thanos before he lost his humanity as a kid. And I'm I really like that. There's value to that comic, and I'm just worried that I love Kieran Gillen. He is the one of the best Thanos writers, and he's doing the Eternals run right now, which is really fun and really inventive. So I just hope they don't get rid of that for just to make it more
I'm with you.
MCU stuff, because
Yeah.
Thanos might be doing Eternal stuff, and I'm
Yeah, I get you.
but I think this is going to be a good book. I just don't want it to destroy other continuity.
Yeah.
Sure.
The Boys
Da boys
Are back in
has
town.
been cast.
canceled.
Well, there's more people.
More
cast
people
in-
cast.
in The Boys. Sean Patrick Flannery will play Gunpowder.
Cool.
Nick Weschler will play Blue Hawk.
Neat.
Cool.
Miles Gaston Villanueva will play
Gaston
Supersonic.
Villanueva. Yeah.
I feel like he might. know
Okay,
that guy.
guys. So Miles Gaston Villanueva is actually a friend of mine.
Oh.
And we y'all like so back in 2012 I did a show with this guy. He was the lead in a production of Romeo and Juliet that I was in. And I shit you not, and I'm not blowing smoke up his butt, there's a reason I kept in touch with him for all these years. He was one of the nicest and just like most compassionate lead actors I've ever worked with.
Mhm.
This is a sweet guy who has been like making his way through the business really well, and I've paid attention. He was in briefly in the CW Nancy Drew show most recently before he got cast in this. He did the Law and Order series about the I think it's the Mendoza brothers. I don't remember the exact name.
The American crime
the brief
story?
like mini series thing for Law and Order. Yeah, he was one of the brothers for that. He's excellent. He's very talented. I am also not bullshitting you when I say he is the sexiest man I have ever met in real life.
And we're all in the room.
Yeah, there you go.
This guy, like, the world knew it because like this guy, like, he'd run on stage from like having to run around the back, and he was just like steam was coming off him. He's so goddamn. He's great. He's a great guy. You pulling up pictures?
I'm seeing like what Supersonic looks like.
Oh sure.
Yes, he's playing Supersonic.
He is playing Supersonic. I am so happy for him. I'm very, very lucky to know Kayla Cromer, who's on Everything's Gonna Be Okay, and now Miles gets to be on The Boys, which is really, really great for him. I cannot wait to watch him in the show. He's awesome. This is incredible news. I've already gushed with him about it. This is really, really great.
And someone you don't know, but Laurie Holden has also been cast as Crimson Countess.
Ooh,
Yeah, she was on Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Laurie
Cool.
Holden. That's I think she's the blonde lady. Oh yeah, I don't know.
She's a blonde lady.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so there's some new soups coming to The Boys.
I freaked out when I saw this.
That's so cool.
So much.
Yeah.
Like I'm so happy for him. This is incredible.
Smallville news.
Somebody save me.
Ben doesn't know it.
Tom Welling dropped it on Cameo.
Yeah, he did.
Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum are developing an animated series that will continue Smallville, and they hope to get as many as the original cast members as possible.
Although probably not one of them.
Yeah, probably not one of them. We know who it is.
Which one?
Chloe.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if
probably
you guys
not Chloe.
heard that she's been on trial recently.
Oh no, they've definitely heard.
And no, but like she recently said, you know, guys, I think this might have been the biggest mistake of my life.
I wonder.
Yeah,
And I'm
thanks.
just like, oh, now you think that?
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, that's so sad.
They found her guilty, right?
Well,
I don't know yet.
you really just need Lois.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I would like them to get Ollie back.
yeah, I would
Yeah.
like to get Ollie back.
Well, he's still doing good stuff on this.
Justin Hartley is doing This Is Us.
Yeah,
yes.
This Is Us.
Yeah.
But if it's animated, it could pop by.
Yeah,
True.
voice
I
is
bet he'd love to.
half an
Yeah.
hour.
Question: are they going to continue from the comics as well?
They
or-
didn't say.
They didn't say.
If
Again,
I-
this was a cameo message.
If I
Right,
had to
right.
guess, I would say no,
Yeah.
just because like
I don't think they've read it.
I don't think they even.
Well, you know
care.
what?
But-
you know what?
but-
I think Rosenbaum might have read it.
Yeah.
I don't think Welling did.
But if they are doing this anime series, they might want to get Brian Q. Miller back because he wrote the end of the show and he wrote the comic books. So there is a possibility.
Maybe.
There, I mean, it's possible. I'm just speculating here. This
I
is
don't know
just
what
me.
Brian Q. Miller is doing right now. So
I don't know what he's doing either. But this is just me just going. Google.
This is not a greenlit thing. They do not know where this is going to go, but they are as the two of them trying to actively get this into development.
They're working on it. Yeah.
Which makes me happy.
Yeah.
Because I like Michael Rosenbaum a lot. I like Tom Welling a lot. I binged that entire show in college. You know this. You've loaned me
I
the
really
DVDs.
like them as I really like how he left Tom Welling in Crisis on Infinite Earths.
I like that too.
I
Uh,
suspect
Oh
this
my
will
God! Do you know what
take
Brian
place
Q. Miller
before.
is currently working on? Ben, say it. Say it out loud. Say it out loud.
uh,
Say it out loud, Ben.
I have the power.
No, Ben, Motherland Fort Salem.
Hey, that was your thing. I haven't seen Motherland. I saw He-Man.
That's what I'm saying. Now you guys should definitely watch it because Brian Q. Miller is working on it.
Wait,
That's awesome.
which He-Man?
I actually was.
The new
I was
one.
like, I feel like I saw his name recently.
We did.
And it was because it was in the opening of Motherland for Salem, but I'm like, I have no confidence in what it was, but I saw his name recently, so I'm so glad you looked it up because yes, that makes a lot of sense. That show's great.
Hell yeah.
Look at that. We got to talk about Motherland a second time.
Beautiful.
Get in there, guys.
Madam Xanadu. It's getting a
Gesundheit.
new HBO Max
Haboo.
TV series
Cool.
from J.J. Abrams and Angela Robinson, who recently wrote Professor Marston and the Wonder Women.
Okay.
She is writing the script, and there you go.
Cool.
Madam Xanadu. She's a Justice League Dark Lady.
Mhm.
She is.
And she was in the
Xanadu
Swamp Thing
in
TV
Swamp Thing?
series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say
which I have yet to see.
probably not the same person.
Probably
Definitely not. They're definitely gonna make her a white lady.
Did you guys like Love and Monsters?
Oh boy,
Oh.
Did you guys like Love and Monsters?
Yeah,
I
that was-
loved it.
That's a great movie.
Guess what?
What?
Sequel.
I know this one. I'm not.
Matthew
gonna say it.
Robinson, who is the writer for Love and Monsters,
Oh.
has been hired to write the script for
Rogue One,
Rogue Squadron.
Rogue Squadron.
Oh, sweet. That's the
That's
Patty
what I
Jenkins,
said. Pretend I
right?
said that
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, the Patty Jenkins Star Wars movie.
Sweet. That movie's actually happening.
Is this
Yeah.
the person? Is this the person? No, it was the writer for Acolyte, right? That it was going around that like they've never seen a Star Wars thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
Leslie Headland hired someone specifically because
I love
Star
that.
Wars fandom went ah,
Yeah, because
and
Yeah.
I went.
they did it to Star Trek. J.J. Abrams hadn't seen Star Trek.
Marvel movies
True.
do this all the time.
And
so-
it shows.
Yeah.
Kenneth Branagh has not read a Marvel book. I don't care what the hell he says.
100%.
But he made a pretty damn good movie.
Yeah, he did.
I am certain at some point in his life he read a Marvel book.
Sure, but he's
More
not like
importantly,
steeped in it.
No.
He's read Shakespeare and directed Shakespeare. That's what that Thor movie
Sure.
is.
Yeah, who cares? Shut up. The Toxic Avenger.
I
Guys, Elijah Wood is in the movie.
have whiplash.
I'm sure he does too for some reason.
Elijah Wood is in the movie with Julia Davis. They both joined the cast. Elijah Wood is not the villain.
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon is. But yeah, he's now in the movie.
Kevin Bacon, Peter Dinklage, and Elijah Wood.
What a cast.
What a cast.
Yeah.
What a cast.
It just really makes me wonder where like, it was just like, oh, I'm too busy that week. I can't do it. And then like, oh no, I'm actually busy. Like, and do you have any other roles I could just like be in this movie?
Yeah,
Because like, that's cool.
guys,
Yeah.
you know there's a new Transformers movie coming.
Oh yeah.
There's
there
actually
is.
3, but one of them is filming right now.
Oh no.
Terminator 3.
I don't
Rise.
believe in anything till it's actually filmed.
Rise of the
Transformers.
Machines.
Until I see a trailer,
No,
I don't believe.
I believe in when it starts filming. It goes into production like we know. Yes, they are
Casting-
filming something. I'll be
casting-
like, yeah, sure.
Casting is pretty real.
If
though.
we remember, we actually did. To be fair, we actually have not talked about a Transformers movie because, like Sparks, we were all just kind of like, look, when one of them gets off the ground, we'll talk about it.
Yes.
Anthony Ramos and Dominic Fishback are starring in a Transformers movie that is currently filming in New York City. It was set in 1984.
That's awesome.
It is written by Stephen Capel Jr., directed by Stephen Capel Jr., and it is called Transformers: Rise of the Beast because it is introducing the Maximals, Predacons, and the Terracons.
Okay. So
First of all,
yes.
bad name. Rise of the Beast. It's just like another generic Transformers name.
So very exciting. Please don't be a prequel to the Bayformers.
Well,
Yeah.
they said so. Okay, I'm going to redo the thing.
Do it.
Returning to the action and spectacle that first captured moviegoers around the world 14 years ago with the original Transformers, Transformers: Rise of the Beast will take audiences on a 90s globe-trotting adventure and introduce the Maximals, Predacons, and Terracons to the existing battle on the Earth between Autobots and Decepticons. It looks
Sure.
like it is set between Bumblebee and Transformers.
So I don't have a problem if like we like because obviously like the Bumblebee is in the Bayformers universe, but it did do its own like designs and stuff. If we move forward that it's in the same universe, but it just does like the old designs again, I'm okay with that. Like I wish we could just reboot, but like that's not what they're doing. So as long as they keep with the Bumblebee design aspect, and like I have no problems with it.
How is it a prequel?
Well, real quickly,
I don't get it.
Mag does
94.
say surprise with Maximals first appearing on film. That's not true. Maximals will be in the upcoming animated series coming to Netflix at the end of July.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh right. That's
Yeah,
right. That's
Earth
not
War.
out yet.
Yeah, that's not out yet.
Probably means live action film.
Oh, live action film, yes.
Yeah.
So Optimus Prime is returning as obviously
Right.
Optimus
Cullen,
Primal
in his G1 design.
Ooh.
There you
Like
go.
we saw him in the beginning and the end of
Mhm.
Bumblebee.
makes sense.
Bumblebee is now a dune buggy.
All right, so he's not the Chimera like we saw at the end of Bumblebee, but
The
that's
new
fine.
Autobots joining him are the new Transformers joining him that we know for sure are RC, Mirage, Nightbird, Air Razor,
Air Razor.
Rhinox, and
Yes!
Optimus Primal.
Okay, Rhinox is actually my favorite.
Rhinox is
Maximo as a
really
kid.
he's a cool.
Rhinox was awesome. I loved Rhinox.
My favorite was always Dinobot
Yeah.
because he's a Velociraptor.
Here's my suspicion. I think that this movie's not going to lay too much groundwork to lead into the
I don't think so
Bayformers
either.
universe.
Yeah.
And if it does as well as Bumblebee, I think they're just going to go, yeah, we're not doing that anymore
Yeah.
because it doesn't make sense anyway.
Nope.
Yeah.
You can't make me think that these things happen before the events of that first movie. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It functionally doesn't work at all. I understand that there's like the only loose connection is that like clearly there's a young version of
Simmons.
of Simmons in Bumblebee, and I'm like, I can take that as a cute nod rather than actual prequel confirmation. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm.
I really love Bumblebee. If that is the direction they're going with, I don't care where they connect it. I'm just happy to see that the Beast Machines are in the movie, are in a movie. Look, those first 2 seasons of that Transformers anime are mediocre at best, but I cannot lie that I am excited for the 3rd because of the Beast Machines.
And what's so exciting is like, unlike the original Transformers cartoon, which was like a nice 2D show, Beast Wars doesn't hold up.
Nope.
Looks god awful. Just
It-
because like 90s CGI, that's what you're gonna get. So we're gonna get our actual first time seeing like what like they would look like.
Yeah.
And that's hella exciting to me. I'm gonna see a gorilla turn into a robot. Come
Yeah.
on, give me a break.
Dude, we're gonna see a freaking rhino turn into a robot.
God,
I am
that's
looking
so silly.
Yeah, so Beast Wars was my first introduction into Transformers. I only knew about Transformers, thankfully, thanks to a local video store that had some of the Transformers movies. Like I thought Beast Wars was first, and like, oh wait, no, there's Transformers and cars.
Technically,
That
I was
makes
gonna say
sense.
canonically.
Canonically, Beast Wars is first.
Canonically, yes, but to me, you know what I mean.
Beast Wars was revealed to be a weird prequel.
Very weird prequel.
It'd be like that sometimes.
So, I'm going to assume no purple Megatron dinosaur.
It doesn't say. I hope so.
If it's connecting to the Bayformers, he's frozen in ice.
that
That's
Megatron,
true.
the dinosaur Megatron, is different.
is
True.
It's not the same Megatron.
Yeah, different
Oh.
Megatrons.
Okay, cool.
That's stupid.
It is stupid and I love it.
It is dumb,
He
but
took the name because Megatron. That's not his real name either. His name is Megatronus.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. It's all dumb. I love it.
So he took because there was a Megatron Prime in the ancient days.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
boy.
Explain that to the movie audience.
Yeah.
no, the movie's gonna open in before time. There was.
If it's
Two
Peter-
Megatrons, and one is an ice, and one's a dinosaur.
Scourge is the villain of this film.
Okay.
Hey, remember in Beast Wars when
Scourge.
No, I'm gonna stop you there and say no. I
What's that?
don't remember.
Bumblebee was when the Wasp was taken over by the ghost of Starscream?
Nope, not even a little bit.
oh,
I'm not even gonna pretend.
I don't remember. I
You
don't think I
big
watched
freaking nerd.
All right.
But I do remember when they became metallics, though. That was
Real
really
quick,
cool.
because it's easy to get distracted by all the Transformer stuff. It's really great that the leads are non-white leads. That's
Yes.
really cool.
Yes.
In the Heights was the most recent thing this guy's been
Anthony
in.
Ramos.
Yes.
Which I saw. Did I say that I saw that? I did.
Yeah, I'm really happy that I'm optimistic and hopeful, and I'm excited to see the
I'm
sequel to
optimistic.
Bumblebee. I'm excited to see the sequel to Bumblebee.
Me
Yeah.
too.
That's all I care about.
Yeah. I think they have an idea that like people like the Bumblebee and not. The
I think they do
Bayformer
too, and
part.
I think that this is going to be a test of like, hey, if we don't acknowledge that a lot and this is received really well, maybe we just keep this up,
I hope so.
Yeah.
I
I'm
hope so.
kind of really,
Soft-
and then we
like
get to
soft reboot.
redo everything again.
Yeah.
Yes,
Just keep the G1 designs. Hell yeah.
I'm kind of really looking forward to see animals transform.
That'd be
into
so
robots.
nuts if like it takes 15 years to get to the old designs that
Oh,
we
yeah.
want.
Mhm.
What a world.
The beginning of Bumblebee is the best Transformers thing ever.
Yeah, it's true.
I'll also say like, I'm stoked about this. This is a cool time jump thing. If they do go forward, if they aren't trying to connect to Bayformers necessarily, I really don't want them to pull X-Men prequel films.
no,
Every decade jump. I'm like, please don't do this.
No, I think we're safe.
Snow White is getting an animated reimagining. Rachel Ziegler has been cast.
Hey, that's really
Oh.
great.
She will
Oh.
soon be having her big break in
West Side Story.
Nice.
Maria.
I am super curious what the Disney live action Snow White will be like,
Mhm.
because there have been other live action Snow Whites that are not based
You
on
said
Disney.
animated. This is
Animated
animated.
reimagining.
This is animated,
So
not
it's
live action.
No, it's live action. That's
It's-
what they
it's
call
a
their live
reimagining.
action.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
sorry.
So that movie is Disney's first movie, so it's very sparse on its narrative. So there's a lot of room for them to develop some stuff, and I'm really curious how they're going to do that without stepping on the toes of like the things that have been done in other places.
Yeah.
I'm super intrigued.
And then we've been starved for some Knives Out casting.
It's been like what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks since Knives Out. Well, we got one. Samara Weaving has been
Fantastic.
cast in the
God.
Knives Out sequel.
Is this the greatest cast ever?
Might
It
be.
might be. Samara Weaving is great. She's going to be in G.I. Joe Origins.
She's from
Ready or Not.
Duh Babysitter.
Ah, babysitter.
Yes.
Yes.
And Bill and Ted.
Yep.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh, she was so good in that.
She was.
Ready or Not.
Trailers.
T-Talk?
Oh my
T-Talk.
God,
Were you
we're
in the
here.
trailer park?
From the trailer park.
Yeah.
We have many names for this, but this is trailers.
I love Trailer Park.
Real quickly, I'm just going to talk about 2 trailers up top that you guys have not seen. Star Trek Picard had its 2nd season trailer. This was very interesting to me because they're doing an alternate reality
Okay.
that Q is somehow involved in. So John Delancey returns as Q, which is cool because I like that character. The trailer is really fun because you get to see them together again after many, many years.
I like Q a lot from Next Generation.
Yeah. We do see alternate reality versions of the characters that we met in season 1,
Ooh.
which is always my jam, but also I kind of wanted more time with these characters before we got this because I don't really know them that well to care about how they've changed.
That seems fair. Yeah.
Man, they got to race to these points because Patrick Stewart's old, so you know.
I know. But they've done this in like 3rd season, I'm on board. But 2nd season, I'm like a little too soon because I just got to know these guys.
Yeah, yeah.
I do like the Star Trek Picard characters more than the other live action Star Trek shows. Discovery being the only one, but I like those characters. There's a captain of a ship that you specifically, Ryan, would really like. His name is Captain Ramos or something. And he's just chomping on a cigar, and he's got holograms of himself wandering around all over the place.
Okay.
He's a really cool guy who just does not care about anything because he was burned by Starfleet.
That sounds all right.
He's a fun character.
I like cigars.
I remember when I was burned by Starfleet.
7 of 9 and the alternate reality does not have a Borg implant anymore.
Is she 9 of 7?
No.
Oh.
She's just human.
Aren't we all? Really?
Well, yeah. So again, I'm really excited for this. I really like Star Trek Picard. I'm excited for a 2nd season. I like this trope, but I'm not sure if now is the time to do it because I want more time with the characters.
Word.
Then the other one is Troll Hunters Rise of the Titans. That is the final word on Mark Guggenheim and Guillermo del Toro's Troll Hunters saga, which started with Troll Hunters with Anton Yelchin, who passed away, went to Three Below, and then to Wizards, and now to this final moment. Captain Hook from Once Upon a Time is in Wizards, and I didn't know that until after I watched this trailer.
Really?
Yeah. So, Troll Hunters is a really great series that Azara got me into. Guillermo del Toro is incredibly passionate about it. And having him doing an animated kid show is really fun. The animation is incredible. There's shots of this. We didn't watch it because we didn't really have the time, but I really actually wish that you would sometime because it's not a spoiler, but these Titans look incredible in this animation.
Are they big boys?
They're huge. There's moments where I'm just like, damn, this is wild for basically what they're doing for a TV show budget.
Cool.
Admittedly, they'd have a higher budget than like Fast and Furious Speed Racers or Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, but I was really impressed with this show, and I'm really excited for this movie.
Right on.
That's that. So it's going.
Oh, it's a movie, not a show?
This is a movie, so it's the
It's
final
The movie finale. It's
Cool.
Endgame, baby.
That's nice. All right.
It is literally Endgame because it's crossing over everything. Nick Offerman's character gets into a giant robot and fights a giant rock monster. It's really cool
Robot.
because he's an alien.
Oh,
There's aliens and trolls and magics. Morgan Le Fay, Merlin.
it all makes sense.
I'm
Brett-
glad you have this.
Who's the Filch?
From Harry Potter?
Yeah, he's Merlin.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah, he's fun.
I was like, Filch shows up? What?
No, not the character Filch.
Crossover.
I specifically, so someday, I know you have plenty on your plate, but someday I think you'd really enjoy it.
Yep, when I'm 45.
Chainsaw Man.
Wow!
I love weird anime.
This looks nuts.
Yeah, I just know a lot of people I follow on Twitter love the manga, and they
Same.
say the manga is insane,
Same.
and like they're surprised how quickly an anime was made. But that's just because like
It's I have talked to some other people who are very nervous about One Punch Man problems.
Yeah.
For anyone who knows, the One Punch Man manga took off. They made an anime. That first season is incredible.
It
Gorgeous
is.
animation, looks great.
and then season 2,
Season 2 sucks. And
got
it's
like-
a
yeah,
bad
they got like
anime adaptation.
a production change.
And because it took too much work to make it look that good. And a lot of people are nervous that Chainsaw Man's going to have the same Whiplash reaction where it's going to be like real hot first season. And they're going to be like, great, we got it out there. We nabbed our audience. All right, lower that money budget, crunch those numbers. Here we go. Season 2.
If you've seen this trailer, like the animation is like
looks
the quality
awesome.
is insane.
Especially because like this is what happens when like this is what happens in the new age. It used to be like you know, an anime comes out too close to the manga, so they create filler. Now we're in the new age where it's seasons, so an anime comes out too close to the manga, so it takes longer to get the next season up, but that doesn't mean that they necessarily put the money into taking the time to make the next season good. And so you run into new kinds of issues, and that's what's happened with Promised Neverland. It happened with One Punch Man, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, Chainsaw Man's the new hot thing," and if it follows that trend, that's really gonna suck because it's gonna be one real great season and then poopy after.
The Chainsaw Man thing design looks like something from Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, he's got
It totally
chainsaws
does.
for hands, and then like
A
his
giant
face.
chainsaw on his
Like a
face.
giant chainsaw
Yeah.
nose.
I have no idea what the plot is, but like I don't need to. It looks great.
Looks really fun.
I mean, all the stuff that we saw was in Japanese, so I'm like,
Very
what's going
gory.
on?
There was very little dialogue.
Yeah.
I am ready to talk about Sexy Beasts, the new
Talk about
dating reality show on Netflix.
This looks stupid.
Oh my god, does it?
I mean, like this is definitely something that's like, if I was hanging out with a bunch of friends and like we were drunk, be like, yo, you want to watch one of these?
Y'all
like,
want to get high?
I will never watch this on my own.
The prosthetic looked really good.
Here's my aesthetics
the
are
one-
surprisingly nice.
The one plus I will give this show is that the makeup is phenomenal.
Yes, it is.
It is really
All the
good.
masks and makeup are phenomenal. And look, my thing is, I can tell that everybody is hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very clear that everybody is still hot, and I'm like, the whole thing means nothing if you know that the person is still attractive.
There are no
Yes.
uggos on that screen.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the whole point should be to like truly mask them, and like there should be like a variety of different people of different types. And it's like, no, everybody's just super attractive, and then we made them look weird.
Everybody's ripped. Like
Like that's stupid.
It's an awful
It's a no from
idea.
me, Jake.
It's an awful,
Yeah.
awful idea. God, I can't believe anybody thought of this.
Temptation Island, but you're a dolphin.
Teen Titans Go see Space Jam.
So Teen Titans Go see Space Jam. When I heard the pitch of this, I was on board. I was told that this is like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 where the Titans watch Space Jam, and it is kind of that, but it's also
But they have control to interrupt.
But if it's like from what the trailer gives us, they stop the movie and make jokes instead of just watching it like.
well,
like,
that's
as they go.
I don't mind if they did that, like in the sense of like, you know, in Mystery Science Theater 3000, they take regular breaks throughout the film. And if they
Not-
did that and like cut back, I know what you're saying. And I'm saying if they like just did that and then cut back to them like sitting in the room and they did a bit and then they go back into the movie and then they just comment as the movie is
Yes.
playing, I'd be more
But
here
that's
for
not
that.
what it looks
I
like.
agree with you that if it's doing like these,
The characters aren't on the bottom
these
of the
things
screen
where
they
they're-
pop up on screen.
I don't even mind that. Like if it's the pausing the movie part that I
Yeah.
agree with you, where I'm like, they're gonna change the momentum of it.
Yeah.
And
And it makes you think it's going to be like an edited movie, so it's not going to be like the full movie, because like if they're pausing it that much, then it would be like a 3-hour broadcast. If they're pausing every scene that much,
They could probably just push it to 2 hours and it'll be fine. Like it's an
Yeah.
extra like 25 minutes of them doing whatever they're doing,
yeah.
because that movie's not that long.
I guess you're right.
It's a cute thing. I think it's fine that they're like, you know, cool. I'm sure. Like I told Brandon, I'm like, if I were a dad who had a kid right now and they watch Teen Titans Go, I'd be like, look, it's a thing from my childhood meshed with a thing from your childhood, and here we go. Let's bond and connect. I
guess
think
so,
that's I think that's nice. And like, you know, if this is a way to like, this is probably the best way to bridge the young generation into the new Space Jam movie to even care about the original Space Jam movie. And for that, I'm like, you know,
That's true.
cool. That's inventive. That's fun.
The Patrick Star Show.
How about no?
Boy, I don't.
Yeah, I wanted to give it a chance, but
Patrick should never have been the main character of his own show, and it's very clear and obvious. And it was obvious when the pitch was made, and it's obvious in this trailer. And I have nothing else to say. Goodbye.
But he
Yeah.
pulls a golf club out of his teeth.
that's
How
hilarious.
about no?
About it
Hey guys,
anymore.
there's like 10 years of great SpongeBob that you can just watch. Just like
10.
well, I actually don't know the trajectory. I stopped watching it when I grew up.
Sure.
But like, you know, there's a lot of really good
There are
years.
5 seasons of pretty darn
There you go.
great.
There are 5
SpongeBob.
years of like
And then there's 5 more years of SpongeBob.
and then there's more
There's
years.
5.
And
good
there's
ye-
some good movies.
There are some good movies. There's also some great Wumbo in there.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
it's true.
That's
Yeah.
in the second season, third season, fourth season.
4th season.
It's seasons 1 through 5. I'll tell you that.
Wellington Paranormal.
Yo, guys, I love What We Do in the Shadows so much. It's a great movie, Taika Waititi, and then they made a TV show, and now they're making a spin-off about just all the supernatural shit in New Zealand.
I love that TV show.
I don't remember the name of the show, but a few years ago, someone tried to do Reno. It was on MTV. Someone tried to do Reno 911 for supernatural stuff.
Yeah.
And I love British Reno 911 for supernatural stuff, so I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this looks really funny. Okay.
I can't
Tomorrow.
find the name of it. Sorry.
Or I should say, Chris Pratt tries to do Edge of Tomorrow. Tomorrow War.
Okay, like the my biggest thing about this movie is that just like it's the same problem I have with the Mark Wahlberg Infinite film, which is that Chris Pratt like hit a standard of I am hot action protagonist man, and that is all I play now.
Yes.
And I'm not here for it.
I don't need less charming Peter Quill. Like I
Yeah,
already have enough Peter Quill in my life. I don't need that.
I think the concept is interesting, but I also think it doesn't look like the movie's going to do anything
special with it.
anything interesting with the interesting concept.
Yeah. I even said like before we watched the trailer, Brandon, like I want another trailer to sell me on
Unless
this
there
movie,
is
the premise is cool, but
unless there is a subplot about him like having a whole thing with his daughter from the future.
that's what I'm waiting on. There's like some plot element they just haven't
But I don't
told
think
us.
it's there.
Yeah, it just might be generic.
It's the final trailer, so we won't know unless we watch the movie.
Have they ever done that before where they say final trailer?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Amazon Prime likes to do that.
Yeah, this is an Amazon Prime original, so it's free for you guys, for us. We can watch it whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
I might wait for reviews.
I could do that with a lot of other things that sound more appealing.
Yep.
Like Gunpowder Milkshake.
Hell yes. This was not my preferred trailer. I like the first one better, but I still love the concept of this film and want to watch it.
Oh, by the way, that American movie is coming out this week.
What American movie?
The Channing Tatum animated American movie.
Oh, shit.
Oh, the George Washington one.
Yeah.
All
America, the motion picture that's
All
coming
right.
out this weekend.
Thank you for reminding me. All right.
Oh yeah, it makes sense.
I'll
4th of
get
July.
high.
I got a blowout with my name on it. Hell yeah.
All right. Anyway, sorry. Gunpowder Milkshake.
Yeah, Karen Gillan,
Lena Headey.
Angela Bassett, Michelle Yeoh,
Gina Carano?
No,
what's
Gina
her last name?
Carano's in Fast and Furious 6, which was
sorry,
weird.
yeah,
That's right.
no, sorry,
Gina Torres?
Gina, no,
I don't know.
God, what's her name? From
Oh,
Watchmen.
Gugino.
No,
Carla Gugino.
Carla Gugino.
Yeah.
thank
I was
you.
about to say I almost said Regina King, but that's
I was putting the
That's the next
C.
movie.
I was putting in the C's and the G's in the wrong place.
Except after E. Yeah. Yeah, man, this looks like a fun like Assassin's movie full of ladies. Like, looks like a good time. Is this Netflix?
Netflix.
Yes.
Cool.
This
Next
looks
one.
like a lot.
Netflix bought it. It was supposed to be theaters, but Netflix
I
bought
wanna
it.
Good
watch
job.
it.
This looks like a fun pew pew. Let's blow stuff up. And also
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti. Is that the name we were
Yes.
looking for?
No,
It wasn't the name we were looking
but
for.
It's a name.
It's
But-
a good name.
It's a name in the movie.
Good for Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, really excited. But what's this about? Doesn't matter. Jellystone.
Jellystone.
It's cool that they're making it. I don't know how I'm gonna.
Some
how
jokes
much,
seem funny.
some jokes seem funny.
I will say,
some jokes don't.
like,
Hey, boo boo.
oh, what you got in the picnic basket?
I'm being sued for malpractice.
that was really
That
good.
was good.
I definitely, when I heard the premise, I expected a lower quality level, and I don't know why I immediately went to that in my brain. But like, I thought this looked better than I expected. Like, I don't love these characters like that much. I don't have a lot of attachment. Yeah.
I was surprised as like everyone was kind of like who I expected, and then they're like also Johnny Quest and Haji, and I'm like, oh, okay.
That's what I was like. Oh, okay.
I did not expect them.
That makes me think like, oh my god, it's like Space Ghost gonna show up.
right.
Like, I'd love that.
Is Space Ghost Hanna-Barbera?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Pig.
Oh, this is my favorite trailer.
What
of the
the-
week, guys.
Okay. When you guys told me that this was Nicolas Cage, John Wick, but with a pig,
I wasn't
I was
wrong.
thinking he was going to be an assassin. So is this like? Is he like
he might be a cook assassin.
Is he like a
He's
chef?
like,
or-
yeah, he's like the chef from Ratatouille who can kill a man with his thumb.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
So I like to think that like he was like some like ex like CAA military whatever spec ops like blacklist guy. And he
Chef.
became a chef when he retired, and then like he goes into hangs out in the woods, and then like he gets brought back in because they steal his pig. It looks like an artsy fartsy Nick Cage movie, and when he makes those types of movies, like Mandy, like they rule.
no!
Like
This looks like a art movie where it's like it's gonna throw you for a loop, but you're going to enjoy the ride. It's
it's got Nat Wolff from Hereditary. Like I like that kid. He's on a lot of good stuff. He's coming up in Old. Like I think it looks pretty
yeah.
cool.
Straight out of nowhere, Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog. Nope, I skipped a lot of trailers. Let's talk about that one, and then we'll
Let's
go
talk
back.
about it. Sure.
no, there's that one.
Well,
Scooby-Doo.
It is wild that it took this long to do this. When I think about it, I'm
Yeah.
like, it seems like such an obvious pairing. Like obviously, you should put the scared dog with the scared dog. And yet here we are, and I'm like, I can't believe I never thought. I really like the appeal of it.
Yeah.
Good, cool to see Courage again.
Yes, I agree. I wish that a little bit more of the Courage animation style was coming through.
Yeah.
More than the modern Scooby-Doo movie.
Some of
animation style,
those
because the Courage
monsters-
animation style was really cool because you got a lot of like. That was an age where like the weird like uncomfortable 3D Beast Wars almost CGI made things creepier
Yeah.
rather than like taking away from it. Like you'll always return the slab.
Yes,
I think of that guy
I
all
think
the
about
time.
him all the time.
All the
creepy
time.
smiley guy with the
Yes, where he just stands
Yeah.
like this, return the slab. I think about that guy a lot.
I was creepy
the
smile.
Courage the Cowardly Dog. We saw like the Sasquatch.
Because
and
what happened
but
is
those monsters, real quickly, Sparks. Those
Yeah.
monsters constantly gave me nightmares every single time I
And
watched Courage the Cowardly Dog.
and not every monster was like that, but I do wish that there was one that was kind of like that in this because when the creatures that were done with that animation showed up, they were so disturbing because everything else was that solid, crisp 2D
It was so
animation.
different.
So they look so out of place, and you're like, oh, this is just kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And they knew how to use that to make it creepy, and the music was creepy.
Mhm.
And so I hope that there's something in this that we're not seeing in the trailer that conveys more the vibe of Courage attached to it. Because I'm like, there's an opportunity to really get something mildly creepy and uncomfortable in Scooby-Doo on a Courage level, and I'm like, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But even removing that, it's just cool to see Courage brought back
Yeah.
for this is really neat. I'm glad that they did it. There is a lot of cool, already very obvious nods to Courage, and even though they're not necessarily playing entirely with the animation style that Courage has, the character models are appropriately designed. Like
Yeah.
they are their same, like not even just like the main family, but like there's the guy with the mustache that we see, and he's
Mhm.
got the arms. He's not built like a Scooby-Doo character. He's built like a Courage character, and I'm like, I appreciate that. Like there's clearly some attention to it.
Yeah.
I just wish the bugs were cooler.
I'm really happy to see that both of his owners get involved in the action.
Yes,
This
me
one.
too.
Eustace Banks.
But Eustace's voice actor is dead,
Sure.
so I wonder who they got to replace him.
Stupid dog.
I would not be surprised if they just used a lot of recorded lines already
maybe
because
yeah.
Eustace doesn't have to talk a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could get away with like a lot of grunt sounds and stupid dog. You made me look bad.
Mhm.
Booga booga booga, and like leave it on a pretty low level of not having to engage much.
Man,
Which
like-
wouldn't surprise me.
What's the grandmother's name again?
Miriam.
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 I saw recently, like unrelated to this, it was, but it
Macaroni.
happened to be
Ooh,
pretty
the
recent.
macaroni!
That someone pointed out that like, yo, I've been like watching a lot of Courage, and I'm pretty sure that the whole plot is that Miriam is blind. And I'm like,
yeah. Are you talking about
oh
the
shoot,
Are you
what?
talking about the scene where she says, "I can't hear you without my glasses"?
Yes.
Yeah. I've
And
seen that.
but like people have been like, I've watched like a whole season of Courage, and like if you told me Miriam was blind, it would actually make a lot of sense.
More cheese.
Yeah. Man, it's
I'm-
cool and weird.
Yeah, I'm not like I'm not the biggest Scooby-Doo fan, but like I loved Courage when that was on, and like they haven't really done much with that character, so like I will watch this for Courage alone, and like I
Sure.
also will enjoy the Scooby-Doo gang while they're there.
Do you remember the IDW comic that tied in Courage the Cowardly Dog, Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls,
Yes.
Johnny Bravo, and something
I never
else?
read it, but it was
Samurai
like
Jack.
it was like the Avengers of
Wasn't
I
this
think
Cartoon
you
Network.
loaned me that book.
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
finished it, but I remember you loaned me the first two
Codename
issues.
Kids Next Door also.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah.
Make
Anyway,
that
sorry.
a TV show.
Was this a real comic or a fan comic?
This
was
I
a
thought
real
it was
comic.
just a fan
No,
comic.
this is
No,
real.
there was a fan comic that came out way before, but this was like the real comic was
Mhm.
was bringing those characters in that animation, like this multiversal event. It was
I
really
Like
remember.
interesting.
Mojo Jojo was up to some shit, and then the universe opened up.
Because I read the
characters.
fan comic. That fan comic was sweet as hell because Dexter and the Powerpuff Girls were teenagers.
Yeah, they didn't do that.
They'd
in
all
this one.
grown up. Courage
Super
Courage
Secret
was
Crisis
like
War.
a grown up dog.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it's
yeah.
real. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Super Secret.
I
Oh,
remember
okay.
that Super Secret Crisis
6
War.
issue. Yeah, okay, 2014. Oh, I never read it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Okay, Annette.
Which one was this
The
one?
Sparks.
The music one.
The music ones with Sparks, Adam
Yes,
Driver, Marion
Adam
Cotillard.
Driver.
Right, the musical.
Looks cool.
Yeah, this looks
Very
like a
artsy.
artsy fartsy musical. Oh, yeah.
There was a trailer a few months ago for this that a lot of people were talking about, and I'm like, yeah, this looks really good. I still think it looks good.
Looks like a crazy musical. Probably is gonna try and get some awards.
Adam
That's-
Driver looks like a romance novel cover guy,
He
like with the long
does,
hair. And
yeah.
he's got like a shirt.
He
on
looks like a Fabio kind of.
Adam
Fabio.
Driver, I can't calm down. I'm always at a 12, and I don't mean like his performance level. I just mean like he's always going as hard as a 12.
Yeah,
I don't have restraint.
harder,
Yeah.
More.
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 Mag says real quickly on Scooby-Doo, Courage and Scooby-Doo, I'm happy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The Harder They Fall.
The harder they fall. Hey
It's
guys,
the Western with Jonathan Majors.
I like westerns and I like diversity.
Idris
And this
Elba.
is just a big cast that's full of awesome people.
Regina King.
I
Dude.
also like when westerns like do something stylistic.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
one clearly is.
It's like a
I'm
super
into it.
stylistic action.
Lakeith
Like
Stanford, who I love.
yeah, they looks like Idris Elba might be some criminal, or I don't know if they're criminals or not, but they're breaking Idris out of
They're black cowboys.
Yeah.
They're criminals.
Sure.
But
Yeah, yeah.
are they?
But they're breaking him out of a union containment thing.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's kind of
Very cool trailer. Yeah.
Well, not to
Um,
say that
Might be
Union-
before the Civil War also.
Oh yeah, true.
I'm really stoked for this. I love Westerns.
Mhm.
Yeah, bring it on.
I just like Idris Elba a lot. That
Me
dude's so
too.
cool.
I
You
also
know what?
really like Jonathan Majors.
You know what?
He's
I
in a
feel like
lot.
the last movie I saw Idris Elba in where he was like a Western style was The Dark Tower.
Ben will finally, if he watches
Oh my
this,
God,
Ben will
you made
finally
your
be able
Stephen
to
King
give a
reference.
crap about when we talk about Jonathan Majors because Ben hasn't watched Lovecraft Country.
right.
Oh,
But
I
now
haven't.
you'll know Jonathan Majors,
Hell
who's
yeah.
playing Kang.
awesome.
Hell yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
There you go.
I mean, just watching this trailer with Regina King and Idris Elba. I'm like, I'm sold, and they're kicking ass and taking names. I'm like, I'm more sold.
I love Lakeith Stanford so much.
He's a
All
cool guy.
Man, Westerns are Westerns making a bit of a comeback?
No.
Is that fair to
No,
think?
they do one every couple of years.
but this looks like a good one.
Yeah.
Looks awesome.
I'd like the Magnificent Seven reboot.
So did I.
Yeah, that's fine.
Snake Eyes: G.I. Joe Origins.
Cool.
It's. I will be shocked if this movie is really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And that might sound mean, but this trailer, it's like, yeah, this is definitely an action movie
I'm
with a ninja
basically,
guy.
I'm basically at this moment sold on Henry Golding alone.
That's yeah.
None of the action is wowing me.
Mhm.
It's all like, yeah, this is
Which
good.
I think is the trailer bad or is just the action in this not very good?
It's just like we've seen so much action now, and like especially like after seeing something like Fast and the Furious, like there's just nothing special
But the
about this action.
But the thing that stands out to me is usually the trailers where you see like a really solid action one that like wets your whistle, gets you into wanting to see the film. And I don't have that
No.
in this. Like there's no particular action thing that stands out to me. I'm just like, yeah, this seems like more or less a generic one of these. And like the one thing you've got me kind of going for is I really like Henry Golding. So
Yeah.
that kind of makes me want to watch it because I know he'll be delivering.
one of the guys from The Raid is in this movie, so like I know the action will be good in some parts
Samara
'cause he's in
Weaving
it.
is in this.
Samara
who's
Weaving's
great.
in it.
but they're not showing it. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I have no connection to the G.I. Joe whatsoever.
Yeah.
And much
Not like Transformers.
not like Transformers.
Big nerd.
But much like Sparks, I'm really just coming to this poor Henry Golding, who I really like, and I'm
Mhm.
desperate for him to be James Bond.
He's British.
He's a British guy who looks good in a suit. You don't really need much else.
True.
Why can't it be a lady?
You can do that too, as long as they look good in a suit.
It's true.
So I'm excited for him,
Yeah.
because he's getting an action role. There's nothing in this trailer that's like, I'll be a G.I. Joe fan after this.
Yeah.
All right,
I got nothing else to say about
The Suicide Squad.
Shit, dog.
You guys like big starfish shooting little starfish at people?
What about buttholes?
What about buttholes?
it. Hey guys, bird.
I am so excited for this movie.
As if I wasn't sold enough
Who's-
on the first trailer.
The guy Joel Kinnaman, right?
Yeah.
Who like heads the
Yeah,
team?
Rick
He's-
Flag.
Yeah, he's this is Katana. She's got my back.
Yeah, he's actually good in this.
That's him.
Yeah.
If you had told me the different actor, I would have believed you.
He has
You
a
know-
different haircut
you know-
in this one too.
Directors matter
Yes.
for getting a performance out of an actor.
Same with
sometimes.
scripts. That Katana
Scripts too.
monologue is horrible.
It's awful.
And when you have a director who's not giving it his all with your actors either, you just go, yeah, this is words, and I'm saying words. Don't watch your back words. I'm like, wow, Joel Kinnaman, you have good lines in this.
I love the weasel thing.
Yeah.
Where he's like,
well, he
he's
did
not-
kill 20 children, but
It's like he's harmless. Look, he's not harmless. He did kill like 20.
That is like a really great bit. Just I'm strapped next to a werewolf.
Pete Davidson is
Yeah.
just like, it's a werewolf. Yeah. This is going to be a good movie. I have no doubts in my mind.
but
Yeah,
what
James
about
Zero.
what do you think about Bloodshot putting Superman in the ICU?
I've literally read the panel where I've seen that happen in a comic, so
I know.
I have no problems with it.
The internet outrage was funny.
It's man.
Wait. People were mad.
Oh,
about...
because they
Yeah.
don't
Oh, I don't
think that
wanna
the
do
Snyder
this.
the Snyder Superman could be beaten by a kryptonite bullet.
bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
it's-
gonna go, Ben. I'm gonna put you back because we are going late, so I don't want.
No,
you to go
but it
into
is a situation where
Put Ben back in his bottle.
even if this didn't actually happen in the comics, which it 100% actually happens, where Bloodshot shoots Superman with a kryptonite bullet, Superman's weak to kryptonite.
Yeah, it's kryptonite.
I just
talented.
don't. I just don't get it.
The argument is that he's too fast to be caught by a bullet, and
No.
we're not doing it.
No, yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I'm really excited for this movie. James Gunn has yet to not deliver a great movie for me. There's so much in this movie to just like as a deep lore comic book fan. I mean, Starro, guys,
100%,
Starro,
100%. The moment where Polka Dot Man is shouting, "I'm a superhero."
He's gonna die there. He's
is
dying,
the moment when he dies.
He dies there.
100%.
Oh,
he's gonna die.
and we haven't seen like anything from Mongal.
No.
But Mongal's in this.
There's this movie's super rated R, which is why we haven't seen a lot. And like, what's so good is like, honestly, besides Harley, every one of these people can die.
Yes.
Every single one of them can die. And that's just going to be
probably not Peacemaker. Let's be honest.
Okay, sorry, Peacemaker. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
I just love how he's like, Star Wars is saying for butthole. Are they connected?
No.
Waller, like, man.
John Cena already stealing the show, honestly.
Yeah.
None of his lines are improv, apparently.
That's because James Gunn's a great writer.
According to James Gunn, none of his lines are improv.
He knows how to do a good script. Yeah, I'm so, and that's like less than 2 months away. It's in August.
So stoked, guys. It's really nice to be this excited for a DC movie.
Yeah, for real.
It's been a long time.
Candyman.
Yo, this is terrifying. I know you guys are gonna force me to watch it. I'm not gonna look forward to it. It looks amazing, but it also looks like I'm gonna pee my pants.
Well,
So that's all.
You saw the original one.
Yeah, I did see the original one. This one looks like 10 times
So good.
scarier.
This one does look really scary.
Did you see
This one looks messed up.
There's a great picture that was released that is kind of like referenced in this trailer, but one of the screenshots from this movie is our main character, Black Manta. I forget his name.
Yahya Abdul Mateen the
thank you.
second or third.
But he's
Junior.
looking at a mirror, and in the mirror's reflection is a woman in the background, and just like outside of a bathroom door, and it's a normal woman, and so it looks like a normal picture, but when you zoom in, you see Candyman in the corner.
Oh,
And I'm like, yes, give me that shit.
Man, I'm so excited.
All of these trailers have been really atmospheric, and like that just shows like, oh, the whole movie is going to be like this. Like it is.
We get some Tony Todd dialogue in this one.
It's like a whole, like the whole town, like it knows about it, and it's like, like 20 years past like the original one. Like it's just it just has like this tone and like feel.
Talk
to
about a well cut trailer too. The way that they cut around like all the different people saying Candyman and all these different moments and everything. I'm like, man, you are nailing the vibe.
The puppet show
great.
stuff is so good.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
You don't like the puppet shows?
It's scary.
That's the point.
I know it's the point. It looks terrifying.
Horror
I
movie
love
is
that just
scary.
these like basic designs really make you uncomfortable. I love it. That's the exact same thing that we're talking about with Courage. That basic animation stuff is what like it's unnerves you.
It's weird because when I watched Courage as a kid, Courage never frightened me. I mean, yeah, it looks scary, but it never gave me nightmares.
I'll show you some Courage pictures that will scare you now.
Go for it. But
something about like animation or even just like simple drawings where like they feel partially unfinished is uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Yes, I agree. Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
Wow, what a trailer.
Yo, man, I thought that Candyman trailer was good. So
Haddonfield's coming to beat Michael's ass.
I'm so excited.
It's like Michael Myers v all of Haddonfield. Get
it's an
ready. There's
all-out-
gonna be an ass
There's a-
kicking.
it's all about war.
There's a line in this where Jamie Lee Curtis is like, the more he kills, the stronger he gets. Yes.
And so there's a line where
Yes.
she's like, "Evil dies tonight," and then she has the entire crowd of people chanting, "Evil dies tonight!" Like this is some insane shit. Like for a Halloween movie, it's a whole town against one
the
man.
trailer does fake you out into thinking that Jamie Lee Curtis dies.
Oh yeah.
But then I was like, and so for like a moment, I was like, oh, are we gonna like not have Jamie Lee Curtis in this movie? And then I was like, they wouldn't pull a Halloween Resurrection.
No, I wouldn't be shocked if like the next movie is when we start losing major characters. But like this one, it's gonna just like it's a war. It's a war, and everyone's out for Michael. But like he's faster. And
I
stronger.
love that Judy Greer's gonna get so much more to do.
Me too.
Mhm.
That looks great.
The little girl, we're exploring more about the daughter.
I absolutely loved when they're in the car, they're driving away. They're watching the
Let it
house,
burn!
and then they see the rescue vehicles go, and then she's like, "Let it burn!" Let it. And I was like, "Oh,
That
this
was from
is-
the first trailer we saw of this
Mhm.
movie when they announced
gosh.
they pushed the next
I'm
year.
so excited.
It's so crazy because like this movie was supposed to be out like last year and like
No, it's supposed to be out this year.
this year.
Yeah.
Oh, man, sorry. It got pushed right
It
originally.
did get pushed. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but like it was supposed to. We were
Wait,
supposed to have seen
What
it.
year are we?
Yes, it was
Yeah,
supposed
I'm
to be
sorry.
out last year.
21.
Yeah, it was supposed to
I'm
be out
sorry.
last year.
I
Yeah.
thought we were still in 2020 for a hot second.
That's
I apologize.
why what I'm saying is like this movie was so far away. Like
Yeah.
I can't believe they pushed it so far. Now we're almost there. Now we're almost here, and now I'm
Almost
like
there.
super jazzed for it. again.
So gosh, it's gonna be so god darn.
I'm
And
good.
they
really
already have the
stoked.
next one filmed, and it's like, oh, next year you get the last one. I'm like, hell yeah!
Yeah.
Man, I'm looking forward to Halloween Kills.
Look at that. Now you like spooky stuff.
Well, okay, Halloween's my favorite scary movie. You guys know this.
There you go.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Oh my gosh! Wait, real quick.
Oh.
Halloween Kills. The season of the witch masks.
They were there.
Yes.
You're right.
They have the kids killed by Michael, and they're wearing the. You gotta watch more Halloween
Okay.
movies, Ben.
Season
But
of
the
the
season
Witch.
of the witch masks, I'm like, oh man, what a deep cut nod.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The spook singer loved that one.
Oh man, yeah, he did.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
I'm on a new level.
Yo, this looks awesome.
I'm very excited for this.
So,
this trailer looked awesome.
It did. There's a dragon in this trailer.
It's not Fin
It's
Fang
not
Foom.
Fing Fang Foom.
Oh.
The thing is, it's just really weird because there's not many dragons in the Marvel comic universe. So the fact that they're doing like this different interpretation of a dragon, and he's like a good dragon, I'm just like, why not have Fing Fang Foom? Because dragons are cool. But like, whatever.
But
like,
is
I get
Fin
it.
Fang Foom an alien?
Yes, but like the 10 rings are alien
Yeah.
devices. Like the 10 rings are so Fing Fang Foom is an alien, and his civilization created the 10 rings.
Right.
That's why everyone assumed Fing Fang Foom was going to be in this movie because they are intrinsically connected.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's not, it's like whatever, that's cool. But
It
like,
does feel like they're going to more the mystical route and
Yeah.
taking away the extraterrestrial.
which is
element.
fine.
It's our second dragon in the MCU, so that's cool.
It's the first.
Second,
Iron Fist.
Who's the first?
Defenders.
Yeah, the
We see a skeleton
the
of a
skeleton
dragon. I'll allow it.
Okay.
I'll allow
I'll
it.
allow it.
Iron Fist. We never got the budget for a dragon.
I was always bummed that we never got to see that dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the look of this
Me
a
too.
lot. There's a lot of really great. There's Michelle Yeoh doing like an airbending technique.
Mhm.
Oh,
There's
dude.
a giant dog lion like bashes people.
Yep.
The dragon shot is gorgeous, and I really like the new interpretation of the Ten Rings.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do too. We're so close to that Dragon Ball Z movie, guys.
Yeah.
We are
For
the
real.
Shinron.
We're like right there. Well, also like that moment when they're doing the bracers
Oh,
with
yeah.
the rings, and I'm like,
It's just a.
this is
it's
Dragon
a
Ball
key
better.
battle.
This is Dragon Ball
Yeah.
Evolution better.
Yeah. Brandon, I 100% agree. The new interpretation of the rings. The problem that they had when doing the story of the Mandarin and the 10 rings is those are basically the Infinity Stones.
Right.
They're not as strong, but they do same things. Like they all have a different aspect of like elements or like life or brain stuff like
Yeah.
that. So like the fact that they're making them like arm gauntlets and like they change color depending on which one you use, super cool.
Yeah.
Super radical. The action looks great. We got surprise cameos in this movie. A-Bomb's back, baby. That's great. A-Bomb has the stupid fin ears from the comics. Couldn't be happier.
It does definitely look like I'm not sure. I'm willing to say for sure.
Yeah.
But it does look like the Abomination and Wong get into a fight in that tournament.
Yes.
It's definitely the Abomination.
Definitely
Yeah.
that guy.
Totally
Like
is.
that back spine. That's
that's
him.
an
that,
Abomination.
that would mean that we heard the Abomination was coming back, but for She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would mean that they kept this a secret
So
when they announced
so when we saw the Abomination, I immediately looked up when the casting for this was, and it was
Yeah.
in December, and that was before She-Hulk started filming.
that. Right.
So I made me go look, when was Kang casted? Kang was casted in September, like 6 months before Ant-Man started filming.
Mhm.
I think Kang's definitely going to be in Loki.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Because
Yeah.
when they cast people, it's usually like around the time that the movies are happening, not a year later.
I will say like Abomination and potentially fighting Wong, but it's certainly a sorcerer.
There's a
Uh,
picture of Wong.
in-
at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah,
So potentially Wong. It has me very interested. I still think that part of this movie, if not the whole movie, might take place during the blip. Because it would make some amount of sense. I think my running idea right now is that Abomination is in this, and in She-Hulk, it's
Jesus.
it's making a
The cat
case.
keeps
Stop
scaring you?
attacking me.
It's making a case to try and put him back in the raft after he'd gotten out during the blip.
Mhm.
And that he did this during the blip. And Wong is there because
What else is he doing?
what else is Wong doing during the blip? So here we are, and so I'm like, I'm still curious if we're gonna get that kind of fleshed out, because I'm like, I am really interested if we're gonna get an MCU movie that does that, and Shang-Chi makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. All right. Z Clex is on the chat. Says, "Hey, what's going on? Hi.
Hi,
What's up?
talking movies.
We're
All
about
right.
to talk about our main topic right now.
That's that for all of that. So here we're going to go into our main topic now. All right. F9, the Fast Saga. Full spoilers for the 9th entry in the Fast and the Furious franchise. And keeping
Shh, don't worry about it.
and keeping with tradition, it does not share a name with any film
Hell yeah.
in this franchise. So here we go. We're going to talk about the latest entry in Dominic Toretto.
Technically,
and family.
there is one, and it's the Fast and Furious, then the Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
That's true. That's true. Oh, Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw.
Colon.
The Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw.
presents.
Oh, presents Hobbs and Shaw. Yeah, Hobbs and Shaw again. All right. So full spoilers. So what do we think about this one? Ben, since you're right next to me,
Okay.
why don't you go last? Sparks?
All right.
Yeah, I'm flabbergasted. Honestly, I'm very happy. I did not anticipate character pathos in this movie at all. I also did not expect them to have blatantly and consistently lied about Charlize Theron's role in this film. What an impressive trick. They got me. I'm all about the family. I had a great time.
Yeah. Ryan?
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Fast and the Furious made me feel love again, you guys. I don't think this is my favorite Fast movie, but the more I think about it, the more it gave me everything that I thought I wanted from one of these movies. And the fact that Justin Lin is back and he's going to be back for the trilogy, like cements like, oh, this dude knows how to make like insanely fun summer blockbusters. I had a really, really, really good time.
Ben?
I had fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, if you got more?
Ben's definitely trepidatious. Oh boy.
Yeah, because I mean, I had fun. I don't hate it, but I'm not like, oh my god, Fast 9. Like, I don't know. It's like there are parts of the movie where I was just kind of like, yeah, that's cool.
So I'll go with my initial thoughts because I think there's probably more to dig into what Ben has to say. But I wrote a whole article. I loved this. I had a damn good time. I'm so happy Justin Lin is back with this franchise. I had such a good time, and I know Sparks and Ryan did because I could hear them. But I think we were the only ones in the theater who did.
Yeah,
No, they had a good time. They were just quiet.
We had a really unresponsive theater.
I will say the lady next to me, anytime something even like jumpy happened, she went, "Oh my god!" Anytime a character died, she literally put her hands to her mouth. So like she was part of the family. I could tell.
You know what I really appreciate. What I really like too is that Justin Lin knows how to balance the ridiculousness with making it a little bit more believable. There's a scene in the trailer where it looks like a dude catches a car.
Yeah.
In this, that dude gets hit by that car and is killed.
Yes. A lot of us like assumed that was Dom. Like, I wonder. I haven't looked back on the trailer, but I wonder if they did like a digital double and like they
Maybe.
No, we just all went bald big guy. That's
that's
Dom.
Good point. Good point.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that dude gets trashed.
Yeah, that
Well,
was funny.
He gets straight up wrecked.
Yeah, you can't catch a car.
Yeah, I liked this more than Fate of the Furious. This is probably on the higher end of the spectrum for me at the Fast films. And again, you notice that Justin Lin magic. I really like Justin Lin, and I'm glad he's back on this franchise.
Now I do have some problems with the movie.
Me too.
But like overall, like they get flooded because I just what a space ride we had.
I mean, hey, they're not realistic and they're real dumb. But I could say that about most of them. So
Especially
that's not new.
10 in. Like big stupid stuff is not the problem actually.
Right,
But I have
not
with
at
the
all.
movie, yeah.
Yeah, I knew going into this I wasn't expecting anything like
In-
realistic or anything like that because it's the Fast movies.
Go
He
ahead.
swings a Dodge Hellcat with from one end of a chasm to the other while catching
Spider car.
Yeah, essentially spider car it. He swings it around.
And you know what makes that moment work? Because he doesn't nail it. And that is
Yeah, he doesn't
honestly
nail the delay.
that
If
makes
he nailed
all the
it,
difference.
it would have sucked. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes all the difference.
I will actually say like one of my problems is that there's not enough big dumb stupid stuff in this because I'm gonna get this one right out of the way. The explanation for why Han is alive is terrible.
It's
I hate
100%.
that
It's
so
100%.
much.
It's the biggest problem I have with the movie.
Yeah.
2 movies before this have shown that moment, and Han was in that car. Stop with the bullshit.
Yeah.
I wanted a more ridiculous, crazy explanation,
For-
and we
yeah.
got the most milquetoast,
Boring
explanation.
one.
All you had to do was basically the same thing that happened to Letty. He was able to crawl far enough away from the car as it exploded, and he was
No, you
thrown
couldn't
back.
do that because you see too much of that scene
See,
aftermath in
we are-
the third one.
It is not technically the next like Fast movie, but Hobbs and Shaw's been introduced. Like the franchise is going into the
He's
most
a super soldier.
the most extreme of places.
He
And
controls a bike with his brain.
He controls a bike with his brain. It's insane. Like this franchise isn't new to crazy ideas. So like they really went the lamest way. Like nah, like we just had to fake my death so I can go be a secret
And
agent.
honestly,
Okay.
honestly, the thing that bugs me the most is it ties Mr. Nobody into the family far earlier because he knew Giselle.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me.
That doesn't bother me. It's just like the execution of the Han stuff.
But it wouldn't it bothers me only because I don't think it's well executed. I don't think the moment when he's talking about Giselle, I don't honestly think it works. Maybe because I don't think it's well written, but it's just if it is maybe like polished a bit more, I'd be more on board with it. But there's something about the scene as it is presented that I'm not into.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's more like, just like the way Han described it. I'm just like, oh man, this like you guys have like you're going to space and like you're jumping from like Dubai buildings.
When they show the shot that's like Shaw's legs walking in the foreground and Han's there, and then he's magically not there when Shaw passes. I'm like, bullshit, bullshit.
It's awful.
And then it's like you see Mr. Nobody, and then it's like there's Han there. It's like, no,
Now I just got to keep you dead.
no, that's bullshit.
I appreciate Kurt Russell being in the movie. Though.
Kurt
Just
Russell
like
is
me
always
too.
having a good time when he's in these movies.
He is. Is he dead? Like dead?
He never finishes the movies. We never know where his character ends up by the end of the movies that he's been in. Furious 7 and The Fate of the Furious. We don't know where that character ends up.
Okay.
And yeah,
But
we don't
He's
know.
probably not dead.
But Fate of the Furious, he's having a really good time because when Vin Diesel and Cypher walk into the when they realize that they're at the base, Kurt Russell like, no, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's here.
I remember
Yeah.
that scene. That was
I think he's having a good time.
Yeah. But yeah, Han's death was like the most bullshit way of how it's like he was never in the car. I was like, no.
really-
Yes, he was.
Han is my favorite character in the franchise, so I'm happy that he's back.
Same.
I just kind of wish that the explanation was better.
Also, I kind of feel like he got the shaft a little bit. Like it was like this big thing in the trailer that Han's alive and he's barely in the movie.
I mean, there's a lot of people in this movie.
Well, they
I mean,
shouldn't have
there
shown it
is-
in the trailers. They shouldn't have shown it in the trailers.
yeah. If we didn't know Han was in this movie, this movie would automatically, I think, be better.
I think that the moment in the trailer where it's like, guess who's back, and he's like, nice clubhouse. I think that would have been plenty.
Yeah.
And then I wish I never saw any of the other footage.
Where we
of
saw
him,
sniper shots.
where we saw the sniper shots or anything like that. I'd constantly be like, okay, but like what?
Yeah.
Like for the first hour of the movie, I'd be like, where is he?
Yeah.
Where is he? Where is that bastard?
You know what?
Or even when they say Han's alive earlier in the movie, I was like, wow, that's kind of anticlimactic a little bit.
Well, they don't say he's alive earlier in the movie. They say that Han
No,
knows something about Atlas.
So
Han
they
knew
go
something about Atlas.
investigating where he last was, what he was doing,
Mexico.
Yeah,
to
by
find the
saying-
connection.
by
They don't know
saying
he's alive.
No, they say he was alive.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No,
No,
when,
they
so
don't.
when
Ben, they don't know he's alive until he shows up with the sniper
yes,
shots.
that's why they're all surprised to see him. Because the last time that he sees him before he dies is they give him the postcard, like, hey, if you ever need something, because they still think he's dead.
And they go to Tokyo because they're finding out where he was last, why
Yes.
he was there.
They don't know
what
he's
he
alive,
did,
but he's been at the same spot for the last
what his
10 years.
connection to Atlas is.
Yeah.
And then only there they find out that he's alive.
Yeah.
Which is why they're like, oh my God.
I'm pretty sure they say that.
Why
he's
are they all
alive
surprised then?
Because they finally see him
They
in the
did not-
flesh.
They did not say
Right.
that he was alive.
But I'm really happy to have the character back. I
Yeah.
love him
Yeah, me
so
too.
much.
Also, I'm pretty sure he's going to be in whatever the next Hobbs and Shaw movie is.
Yeah.
Judging from the post-credit
No,
scene,
yeah,
which is
definitely.
cool because like I don't want your next.
But it'd be
movie-
cooler if he was Cyber Han.
Yes, I don't need your next movie to fix this movie's problems, but if there is a way where they can talk more about the situation,
They're like, yeah,
Yeah,
how'd you
okay.
get out of the car? And it's like, yeah, it wasn't just a magic trick. And
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, yeah, add bullshit.
yeah, keep going, keep going.
There's my biggest issue with the movie, really the only issue that I have outside of, well, no, the Han thing is actually related. I think there's too much plot.
Really?
I think there's too
For a Fast and the Furious
much
movie?
pl- Yes, for a Fast and the Furious movie
I disagree.
specifically.
Yeah.
I think this film is stuffed. And my only issue is that I think you could have trimmed, I don't know what, but some of the stuff probably add some more car chases because I think the Fast and the Furious films are better when they're lean. And this one is it feels
Well,
really
when
really hefty.
They're not often lean though. They
I
have-
think they are all lean except for Fate and this one.
okay.
personally.
No, I definitely disagree because like there were times in this movie where like I need more plot because I don't feel like they're explaining enough because it's a Fast and Furious movie and we just need to keep going.
In a like side connection, like nothing against the actor or the character necessarily, but like the addition of
Elle?
is that her name?
Yeah.
Which
yeah,
one?
the girl that
That's
Han
what I
is
mean. I
protecting.
need more plot
yeah.
because they don't give us enough about that character.
She's a nothing addition.
She's a
Yeah.
future character. Is
And
what she is.
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, that's neat and like cool to get that more diversity and representation. I'm all about that. But
Yeah.
but boy, is she not really a character in this
I
movie.
get why she's there because like the whole thing of like found family, but like we needed more of her as an actual character instead of being
I
the plot
agree.
device.
Except for her to turn on the D20 of
which
death.
looked really cool. Looked cool.
The D20 of death.
Yeah, that looked really cool.
I could have done with that Cardi B.
Yeah, who was she? Was she in a
She was,
She was not
the
in
girl
any
the
other
truck.
movies.
She's not. She's just a Cardi B cameo.
It's
Oh.
it's the one cameo where like I like Cardi B as a personality, as a musician, but like this is just one where like we just wanted to put her in the movie, but like no real good reason.
Like when she pops up, she's talking to Dom. I'm like, okay, you
I
two know each
thought
other.
she
How?
was. I thought she was going to be. I thought I had misremembered because I haven't seen Hobbs and Shaw in a long time. I thought she was the girl group that Hobbs and Shaw go for help in that movie.
yeah.
I didn't remember that. That's not who that was.
No, this is a I don't know if this is again like a future setup thing, but
Yeah.
this is just like, oh, Dom has some more friends that you just now know about, I guess.
Yeah,
But I don't think it was set up well at all.
No.
I agree.
but you know who I think is fun in this movie, having a good time,
Helen
doing her
Mirren?
first driving stunt.
Oh.
Mirren.
Helen Mirren's
Oh my
having
God.
a good time.
So when Helen Mirren shows up and she says Dominic Toretto, me and Megan both at the same time also went Dominic Toretto because Helen Mirren's great. English accents are great.
I just love how she steals the necklace and then she's like, if you drive, I'll give you.
So Vin Diesel's a different person in this scene than any other scene in the movie because he's smiling, he's having a great time. I don't think that's Dominic Toretto. I think that's just Vin Diesel hanging out with Helen Mirren.
I think so,
Yeah.
too.
That dude is seriously just smiling and having a good time.
I just love it when she's driving. She's like, hit the e-brake for me, darling. And
Oh,
he's like,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I had a good time with that sequence. I turned to my girlfriend and I was like, "How many other movies do you get Helen Mirren doing this driving stunt?"
Killing it.
I told Ryan, I'm like, if they're still gonna make the female Fast franchise, she better be at the head of it.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah. So this movie reminded me a lot of the Russo brothers Avengers movies because one, there's a lot of names popping up on screens like, oh, we're going here, we're going here. There's a lot of globe-trotting team building up. There's a lot of people meeting up. I love that the Tokyo Drift guys and the one dude from 4 are hanging out and they're just rocket scientists in Germany for no reason. It's just like
The Tokyo Drift guys, because of their scene, because it felt like they were really only there to set up the rocket engine.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you might have been able to cut this part, but
then later.
I really liked it when they saw Han for the first time. I think that moment earned their entire presence
Yeah.
in this franchise.
I
I did enjoy that.
I honestly like
Even though it's a huge plot hole.
Oh, 100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Hey,
really
I was a
like-
teenager and now I'm 40.
Yeah, hey, listen, man, not everyone has good genes. I like the Tokyo Drift crew. I'll even include the guy from 4 as like, but like I really liked all of them in this movie. I like Bow Wow. Like they weren't in the movie a lot, but like
Twinkie.
the side characters.
You went by that ever?
Roman and Tej. This is the movie I've liked them the most in. I think. I generally find them fun. Like I'm happy they're there, but I've never really cared.
I have had
I
a hard
really
time.
like them.
I'll give you that too. I've had a hard time connecting to them without Brian.
Yeah.
Because their
They're
connection
his
with
friends.
Brian.
Yeah.
And so without him, I was having a difficult time. But yeah, right, this time I did not have that issue. with them.
I don't know if it was just like the situations that they were in, or just like Roman just accepting that he's an invincible
Invincible
god.
monster.
Yeah.
No, so I absolutely love that scene where it's just Tej, Ramsey, and Roman, and he's saying, "It's like, look, we've been in crazy situations. We've done all this stuff because you even see when he was in the pyramid and all those military guys were shooting at him, not a single scratch. He's
he
like,
should be dead.
I'm thinking, is like, is Fast and Furious kid like super meta right now?
So
Yeah.
I will say, and I didn't even like watch all the movies again. I watched Fate of the Furious and then I watched F9. And I agree that I think Roman and Tej's stuff is probably some of the best stuff they've had in the franchise. I'll say that. There's stuff here. However, I will also say that they're pretty much caught in a trap where like every movie they're doing the exact same bits with different words.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
And it's just like Roman does thing.
This is
Tej
crazy.
makes fun of Roman. Roman gives him sass. Tej points out logic. Roman goes, I'm hungry. Like it's every time. And then sometimes Ramsey, and unfortunately, like Ramsey's just a trapped character who's like the third wheel of their thing.
I'm so glad you
Who's
brought
not
that up.
allowed to be another person.
Yes.
And I'm like, we're like 3 movies deep of this being the same interaction between
Yeah.
these 3 characters. And while I agree, Roman and Tej probably have some of the best stuff, specifically when they're in space together from this stuff. I'm also like, they're still just doing the same stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm done. with it.
I agree with that. That's why I like to like the Brandon's point earlier. Like I've never really like, again, I like them, but I don't connect with them like some of the other characters. But like
Yeah.
this movie, like I did connect with them. So in the next movie, I hope it's not the same shtick, because otherwise I will be.
That's the
tired
thing
of
is like, I'm like, I can't, I realized as I was watching, I'm like, I'm enjoying this because I think it's the best it's been.
Mhm.
I can't do these bits one more time.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
That's why I thought
need
they were
them-
gonna die.
I need them to change, which is why I was like, oh, please have them like starting to realize, hey, are we like weird?
Yeah.
Are we like maybe experiments?
Tyrese Gibson takes a bit out from the Nice Guys when he's just like, I think we're invincible.
Yeah.
I think they blow off him pointing out, hey, these are bullet holes in my shirt and I'm unscratched a little too easily.
Yes.
I also like, I think back to when they dropped Roman out of a plane and that he doesn't freak out more about going into space.
Mhm.
Am I remembering wrong, or don't they drug him to put him on the plane?
No, yeah.
they don't.
Okay.
They don't. He does get on the plane, but he doesn't get off the plane. So then Tej
Right.
like
He
pushes
forces the boosters. Okay, yeah.
Oh, he's
And I'm
great.
like,
Yeah.
that guy would freak out more about the space rocket launch. But it's, like it's fine.
I actually was surprised that I liked Josh Lucas as much as I did.
Sure.
I thought he was having a good time.
Yeah, I did too. I definitely like, I was feeling it after I watched Fate of the Furious. I'm like, man, literally every scene, it's like the same conversation with different words
Yeah.
between Roman and Tej. And I'm like, they gotta do something else.
Yeah, I get you. We have danced around it, but not really. They go to space in this one.
Yeah.
Personally, I think too early, but I was happy to see it.
I mean, yeah.
Like, where do you go after though?
I mean, that's
Genuinely curious.
the thing. Like the thing is, like, I don't think this movie, even though like the space thing is like is spectacle, like this movie isn't the biggest Fast and the Furious movie. I don't
Right.
think. So I think they can still do giant spectacle, but like going to space is like a very they weren't gonna like go to space and have a space battle. They
No, of
launched the
course not.
car into space to
I really appreciated that Roman drove the car in space.
hell yeah.
I
Put it into gear and everything.
the
Hell yeah.
reason the space stuff works for me is because it's not the gimmick of the movie. The gimmick is magnets,
Yes.
and that stuff worked really,
Holy
really
shit.
well.
Yes. The truck flip, which we haven't seen in quite a while.
It's the Dark Knight.
And this was
good.
honestly probably one of the coolest ways it's been done.
Yes.
Honestly,
Yes.
like I everything about the way they did the magnet action scenes, I'm like, this. Honestly, some of the best action scene gimmick stuff since the vault at the end of Fast Five.
Yeah, I think so.
Like really good, really inventive ideas of like, oh, they're gonna bring the trucks in and then push them out and have them just taking out the parked cars, and I'm like, man, this just feels good.
Yeah. I really like. There's a bit that I just love. They John Cena gets pushed off the thing because surprise, the bad guy betrays him. John Cena gets pushed off the thing. Dom pushes a car under him, which the car slides into the other car where Mia
to get him
catches
to the other car. Yeah,
So good.
but the thing is, like, it gets to probably some of the most believable action scenes with these guys, because I'm like, if I buy into these super powerful magnets, they are relying entirely on their skills as drivers to maneuver how they use these magnets, how they whip cars around, all these things. And the thing I buy the most is they're fantastic drivers.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, there it is. Like, I buy all of it, and it's very well done.
Speaking of fantastic drivers, I was bummed that Mia did not get into a car and drive.
Yeah.
We don't see it often, because the last time we saw her actually get in a car and do some driving was in the beginning of Fast 5. But if we all remember the Fast and the Furious, she is almost as an experienced driver as Dom is, and it's really sad that
but now
don't
she's a
get to
mom.
I know, but it's really sad we
She
don't get to see it.
Get to have a kick-ass action scene.
Yes,
She did. I'm just glad she was in the movie.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was speaking of the fact that Jordana Brewster is in this, because I only have Fate to compare, and one of the reasons why I like this movie more than Fate is because I think they handled Brian's absence much better than in Fate.
Me too. I think the only real problem with Fate, honestly, is that it's the end. And I have a hard time with the end of Fate of the Furious because I'm like, there's no world where Vin Diesel reveals that his son is named after Brian and Brian isn't there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't happen. And I'm like, like I get it in the same sense of like the Avengers can't show up in every Marvel movie, and I understand, but like it does feel off, and they did it better. I thought they did a good job of like, I totally believe and buy that like Brian was like, you gotta go because this is your brother and I'm gonna stay and I'm gonna protect the kids. And then at the end of the movie it's like, hey, he's on his way and you just need to see his car.
Yes.
And that's enough.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough to feel like he's
Family.
there.
Yes. I really, honestly, I promise not to bring it up too much, but the fact that I just wrote an article about Brian's absence being something that I really miss, having just that made the world of difference. It was it was crazy how different that just the fact that his car pulled into the driveway was
and I genuinely think that's just a thing of Justin Lin being much more aware of how important it was to nail it that way.
Yeah. I was really happy with just what we got.
Yes, I agree.
We haven't talked about
John Cena,
the Toretto in the room.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
John Cena.
Jacob.
We also haven't talked about, there's a lot of flashbacks in this movie.
I can't tell you how much I loved it. I really can't.
I can't either. Like
it was so unexpected. Maybe my favorite point in the movie, and it's not even a big moment. It's when the two brothers are gonna race each other after the big fight, and then the Prodigy starts playing now, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm back in 2000s again.
Yeah,
It's like back to Fast and the Furious, and I'm like, I didn't think we were gonna go here. I didn't think we were gonna go back to the beginning, even further back, and it's like old school Fast and the Furious.
Young Mia, young Letty, young
Vince, who's dead.
Young Vince and young Jesse.
Yeah.
Jesse, who many people forget from the Fast and the Furious, who died.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
He was Brian. You are looking at me like I'm crazy. Yes, and the flashback sequence was one of the reasons why I want to bring it up, is because I think everyone is so well cast. I honestly think every single one of those younger actors looks just like those characters.
I won't say just like for the guy playing young Dom. However, I think that actor is doing a great job capturing.
He's a better actor than Vin Diesel is.
But yeah, we do see. What we got a shot, and I immediately recognized Vince, Letty, Jesse.
It's a T-shirt.
Yeah, I got it.
And Mia.
And Mia is there. Jesse was a fun surprise because he is kind of the forgotten stepchild of the Fast and the Furious franchise because he died in the first film.
Yeah.
But he was really important.
Leo and Santos show up for a little bit.
Leo and Santos show up in the flashbacks too. Santos shows up at the end of the film.
Yeah.
Leo's gone.
Yeah,
it's been a long time since I saw the first.
No,
Fast and
same.
Furious movie,
Yeah.
so
That's fair. Many people forget about Jesse, but Dom was really protective of Jesse in the Fast and the Furious.
Jesse's the young kid who like gets too bold and bets the car and screws up, and he goes running from the Yakuza guys, and they come and blast him in front of the house.
Gotcha.
So I don't think this is controversial. I think John Cena's good in this movie. I don't think he's at the quality that I've seen him be John Cena in other movies. Like I don't like he's kind of just doing like I'm a tough guy, and I think it works for the movie, but I don't think he was doing anything extraordinary for me.
I'll agree there.
I feel that the flashbacks help John Cena a whole lot.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I was gonna say earlier, the flashbacks are something that I didn't think I really wanted.
Mhm.
Because like when the film starts, it starts with a flashback in 1986. Also, fun fact, I'm like 99% sure they filmed that at the Irwindale Speedway off the 605.
Hell
in
yeah, dude.
California.
Michael Rooker shows up in the flashback. I'm
Yeah,
like,
he does.
You're in this movie, I guess.
Yeah, he is. But seeing that flashback and seeing what happened was like, oh, and seeing the events that followed throughout the movie, and then getting the whole picture of it, I'm like, oh wow,
the thing that
sucks.
the thing that I also really like about the flashbacks, going back to the kid who plays young Dom, I think he showed up and I was like, that's young Dominic Toretto.
Yeah,
I got it immediately. One of my favorite things that they do in the flashback is when he's racing young Jacob,
yeah.
And he does the Nas, and I was like, do it.
Too fast.
Too soon. Yeah.
And he does the thing. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. That kid, I don't know if that kid, the guy who played young Dom, if that's his voice, but man, that's not many people sound like Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
They also retroactively created a thing where when you go back to the original now, you will look at Dom's relationship with Brian and be like, he sees his younger brother in him.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like, and it's all there, and you're like, oh shit.
See, and this is one of those things where like I don't often or won't revisit those early Fast and the Furious movies because now that we're here, I like the big bombast. I don't need selling broken stolen DVDs or anything.
That
right?
first one's still real good.
No, that's the thing. Now that
Tokyo Drift.
all of this family stuff and it's going back, it makes me want to revisit that first one.
Sure.
Because I now have the connection. Like, oh right, it did all start back in this or this hanging out in LA doing stuff like this.
I definitely feel like I should have watched the first one, or at least the first few before I watched
I
Fast 9.
I was really happy to rewatch all of them, and I think that when 11 comes out, not 10, when 11 comes
The
out,
final one
we should do a watch through of
retrospective?
the entire franchise.
in 5 years. Yeah.
I'm giving us plenty of time.
Yeah.
I think John Cena, going back to how John Cena comes across in this movie, I think the important thing is I fully believe he's a Toretto.
Yes.
And that's all
Yes.
you needed to sell me on. And I believe entirely he's Dom's brother.
I didn't, we looked at it like it was really silly in the trailer. Like, oh, Dom's long lost brother. What was the thing that made Dom turn against?
Yes.
And so but it really
It's
works
good.
in this movie.
It's really powerful.
I didn't think it was going to be what it was.
Yeah.
They really I thought it was going to be something silly. Also, we thought that Charlize Theron was going to be recruiting him, which is not the case.
Nope.
But I thought it was going to be something really basic and silly where it's like, they had falling out and beef, and I'm like, cool. And we weren't going to really explore it, but it's like, it is the heart of the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, this really works for me.
Just, because we can do spoilers, but Dom thinks that Jacob intentionally killed or accidentally killed their
Yeah.
father.
No, I think at first he thinks intentionally,
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
his dad's knowledge, and then you learn
He thinks intentionally, but really it was so his dad could throw the race.
Yeah.
Dad was
And-
trying to throw the race.
And then unfortunately he goes into the crash, and then it ignites the whole car.
What's awesome about the flashback scenes, and I think I was talking to you about this, is
Yeah.
those flashback scenes have their own narrative story within the Fast and Furious movie
Yeah.
itself. Because you see Dom and Jacob go through their shit. By the end of those flashbacks, they're at a different place than they were at the beginning of those flashbacks.
Mhm.
So there's
Right.
two separate stories being told about the same characters at different points in
it's
their
so
lives.
anime.
It's seriously anime. Let's talk about the most artsy the Fast and Furious has ever been in. And it's
When Dom falls
Dom
in
is
the water.
drowning, it turns
Yes.
into an A24 movie for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And
totally
it is so beautiful, truly beautiful. It is the most beautiful the Fast and Furious has ever been, where Dom is drowning and then he drifts into a memory, and he's drifting in and out of different memories, and it's all seamless.
Yeah, he's drifting.
And I'm like, oh Jesus, thank you. But man, I turned over to Sparks in the theater. I'm like, this is the artsiest this has ever been. This is insane.
yeah, I loved it.
And I'm like, if the next couple movies get a little more experimental,
Him standing there like because he's not saying anything, and you're understanding Dom is processing the information he got from Jacob, and he's looking back at the events, and he's going, oh shit,
my dad wasn't as good.
I
yeah.
treated my brother wrong.
Mhm.
I was wrong, and that line is cut. He's hearing in his head that line from Michael Rooker's Buddy,
Yeah.
where it's the most important thing to a Toretto is family. The worst thing you could do is cut them off from it, and that's what you did to your brother. And then he's like, oh shit, I did. And him just watching the race moment and watching Jacob screaming no,
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit.
I hate watching movies with emotions with my friends, especially in theaters, and I don't expect this, but this movie almost made me cry a couple times, and I'm just like, oh, this is how I know they've done it.
Yeah.
I'm watching 19-year-old Vin Diesel cry for his dad, and that's my dad. I'm like, man, this is anime. Oh my god. Oh.
There is the sense that this new direction that the Fast and Furious films are going into, this last trilogy, I am more optimistic to it. I am more interested in it, and I'm glad they did this because initially they were going to do the trilogy off of Fate.
Mhm.
It was going to be Fate, and then 9, and then 10, and that was going to be it. And then they chose to do
I think
9, 10, 11, and I really appreciate that, kind of giving it a clean slate going into the last half.
I agree, and I think the subtext that we were probably all thinking but never voiced was that when they showed John Cena was going to be playing his younger brother, it's like, all right, I get it, this is the Brian substitute in
Yes.
a sense, and yes, he kind of is becoming that, but they did it in such a detailed fill out your it's not what you it's what
Everything you think is
what the
wrong?
trope? Yeah, everything you thought you knew is wrong, and it's that done really
So,
well.
There's a thing where Dominic Toretto talks about he's giving Jake the car, and he says someone once gave me a 10-second
car.
Yeah.
as a second chance, and I'm
Man.
like,
That's a Brian thing.
I owe you at least that. Yeah.
You did it.
It's the nod to that, and I'm like, man, they really made this feel like something where I understand why they're doing it retroactively of Paul Walker's passing, but it feels like something that was just always there.
Yeah. So when we were driving to the theater, I told Sparks, like, I don't see how they can turn John Cena like into a good guy by the end of this movie. Like, I feel like this trajectory of like maybe the trilogy. Cause like, and I even said like, I don't know if I would like that they make him a good guy so fast. But the movie did it in such an excellent way where like I bought it and I wanted him to be a good guy because this dude has had a really sad life and he didn't deserve the things that happened to him.
I bought it. I buy it 100,000 times more than Shaw's turn in Fate of the Furious.
100%. Yeah. I agree with that.
That one. Look, I bought it for the movie, but I had to stretch.
It is fast. Yeah, I definitely had to get up and stretch for that
but
one.
it's not Furious.
Oh, you okay.
Yeah, I think that the stuff building up Jacob's character is just done really, really well. I think that's fleshed out exceptionally well. They did it. I don't know, it's crazy. I'm really, really glad that Cypher is still out there. I liked that she was kind of put on the offensive in a way.
At the end, yeah.
Sorry, on the defensive.
Oh, okay.
Because she was on the offensive in Fate, and here she's kind of playing defense in a weird way, like long con stuff. And Charlize Theron's having a great time, and I really like her villain as Cypher. Having rewatched Fate of the Furious, she is one of the best things about that movie.
Yeah.
Is the presentation of her villain character. She's essentially a really good Lex Luthor for the Fate of the Furious films. Sorry, for the Fast and the Furious films.
It's super cool that like. That now that we know that there's like an end game, sorry to say, but like we know that there's like a trajectory, like they're building to like a big cool finale and like, okay, we got to round up all the characters and we got to bring in like new characters to finish it out. And like now that we got John Cena and I'm so
There's a couple of characters I'm still waiting for a return, if you know what I mean.
There you go.
My favorite thing is that they've been able to like in a series that tends to, when it comes down to it, rely on brute strength as the important defining factor for winning a thing. Charlize Theron manages to still stay ahead of them by being crafty, and I think that's really effective.
That's what I was talking about. Where when Vin Diesel is like, I was 3 moves ahead of you the whole time. I'm like, sure.
Oh, there's another villain. There's Otto, the German guy. He's fine.
Yeah,
he's the rich accomplice guy.
But what I wanted to bring, I brought that up because in Fate of the Furious, at the end of Fate of the Furious, which is the only time that we actually get any sense of Dominic Toretto, because most of the time he's playing a bad guy. There's the moment where as Sparks said, where Cypher is a different type of villain that they have to fight because she's not about brute strength. There's the thing where Dominic Toretto all of a sudden is the smartest person in the room, where I think Justin Lin comes in and is able to bring him closer to where he was and almost stops him from jumping off into Xander Cage.
In a similar vein to what you're saying, I think my favorite thing about the stuff between Dom and Jacob is that the reason he treats Jacob the way he does feels like a very real thing that a person would do.
Yes.
Oh, I got this piece of information. I let that color my entire perspective because I was young and angry, and I just ran with that information without even considering
like real family
any alternative
drama
to it. I just said that's exactly what happened, and then reassess the new information and go, shit, I was wrong.
And I can't tell you how much I like cheered in my seat when like something bad's about to happen and there's no cars available and it's like no one can get to him. Jacob's like I can
because
he's
he
in
pulls
Han's
in
car.
and it's like, oh man,
It's the hero turn. Felt good.
Yeah, that was a fist bump moment, and the fact that they look at each other, they give each other the Toretto look, and I'm like, yeah, they did.
That's the thing. John Cena's nailing the look that Vin Diesel gives back. Like he looks like he's his brother.
Yeah.
Like John Cena might not be playing with a lot, but he's playing with what's
Do we
there.
think because there's a weird, I think it was a weird line that Charlize Theron was like, oh, I didn't know there was a Nordic line in the Torettos. Is he adopted or is he just whiter than his brother?
I think they're just trying to explain why they don't look
they don't
exactly
have the
the same. Yeah,
because like I
think they're trying to say that like there's a lot of like they're an ethnic fruit basket and you're not sure what's going to come out.
I thought that line was a little weird.
She said the Toretto family has a lot of mixed lineage.
Yeah, like
so it's like you never are quite sure what's going to come out.
But
and I think that was
specifically she said like a Nordic
I
line.
hear you. I think that's just to acknowledge like John Cena not looking like Vin Diesel very much.
Yeah.
And make
Which
you
is why
buy
it's
into
weird
it.
when Helen Mirren is like, you had similar you had to have similar features. I'm like,
being big and buff, I guess.
Big and bulky.
Yeah.
do I have anything else I wanted to say? We talked about Ramsey. We talked a bit about Ramsey. How I agree with you, Sparks. I don't really think she's
Her best scene is the scene when she's not with Tej and Roman, which
Yeah.
is when
She's
she's like,
driving?
I don't know how to drive. I know this hasn't come up, but I don't know how to drive. And it's like, too bad you're our only
It's-
person.
It's
That's
super
a-
funny that it's coincidentally the same car that all the bullshit's happening in the back, and she doesn't realize
Uh-huh.
it. Yeah.
But that one's really funny because everyone ends up in that car eventually, and like Dom gets in the car thinking he's gonna hijack it, and it's
Yeah,
just like, oh, follow him.
Yeah, the whole crew's here.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. We're all good.
Yeah, it's a kind of like a weird Laurel and Hardy bit there.
Ben, do you have anything else to say? Has this helped you at all? Anything?
No,
you know?
it's helped. You guys have said a lot of things that I also enjoyed about the movie, like the stuff with Dom, stuff with John Cena, because I thought John Cena did decently well in this movie. One of my biggest complaints is Otto, the villain.
Mhm.
I mean, I get that he's
Yeah.
a rich prick and also he has daddy issues, but
That's all.
yeah, exactly. That's all.
I
was
also don't need him to be more, frankly. You got Charlize Theron and John Cena running the ship. I don't mind that he comes off as a joke because he is the joke.
I know, but part of me was hoping for a little bit more. It's like, why exactly are you doing this? No, and I feel like the daddy issues thing is just like a blanket statement. It's like, do you just want to like rule Western Europe or all of Europe?
I
or
will
all of
say-
the world. Just give me a little bit
The
more.
world.
There's a lot of Star Wars jokes with this character, but I
Yeah.
don't think they all work. But I think the Yoda one pays off.
Man, I
Yoda
thought that
one's pretty
Yoda one
The
good.
was
Yoda
real
one
good.
pays off where he's a puppet with his hand up
Dude,
someone's
there
ass.
was
Yeah.
a lot of Star Wars talk. I was like, wow, they're really.
It was
gonna get
it all. I agree until the Yoda one, then it made it worth it for me.
Yeah, I mean everything was like, okay, I get. Okay, it was like, wow, too much, and then it's like, okay, that was good.
So I also thought it was Carrie Elways the first time I saw him because Carrie Elways is super skinny now.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, look at him. And I'm like, not the same guy.
I thought it was the guy from Aladdin, the white guy from Aladdin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
prince.
Yeah,
Oh.
the prince from Aladdin.
Yeah,
I thought it was
yeah.
him at first.
I will say I was kind of bummed Little Nobody wasn't back. It was a
I
little
didn't
Oh,
like
surprising.
him.
No, in the
yeah.
sense that like
Scott
plot
Eastwood.
wise,
Eastwood,
it's
yeah.
not necessarily because I wanted to see him, but in the sense that like plot wise, theoretically, Mr. Nobody goes off grid.
We did get the guy from 4, though, with the broken nose.
Yeah, we
Yes.
did. He
So,
was
like,
fun.
That's
know.
where I would expect to see Little
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
He still has a
so I was
really broken
surprised-
nose.
I didn't need him to be part of the crew or be in the movie a bunch. It's just a little surprising going from Fate to this.
You know, it
that
does-
he doesn't show up.
it does
Probably
make
part of the crew.
it does make more sense that Little Nobody would be there and not Brian's FBI contact from 4.
I know. I thought that when I saw
Yeah.
him, I'm like, that's a little strange, but
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I was happy to see the character,
Yeah, cool pull, I guess.
but I was like, why are you here?
Right.
You're not
That-
Dom's friend. You're
that
Brian's
would,
friend.
that would
Yeah.
normally, like, you literally would normally replace that one scene, that one moment with Little Nobody
Yeah.
from the previous one.
Yeah. I like the movie. I'm happy we're back. We're getting more Justin Lin Fast and Furious films, which I think are the best ones.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I really honestly, like, the more we've talked about and the more we've gone into it, I'm like, I really enjoyed my time with this one.
Yeah.
It's very much making me like, no, there is a lot still to mine here. I like everything Michelle Rodriguez got to do. I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
I did too.
Um,
I did too. Thank you for bringing that up because there's actually something they did with Michelle Rodriguez that I almost forgot. There is something that I wish they were able to do, but they couldn't with Brian. In Furious 7, there's a lot of talk about how Brian misses bullets. He like misses the bullets. I think they went a little. I think they took that a little in the wrong direction. I think it should have been he misses the adrenaline. He's like an adrenaline junkie, but you can't really do that because you're only working with what he's already done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I totally get why they couldn't, but they do it with Letty, and I was really happy to see it somewhere with one of these characters.
Sure.
Having Letty be like, that's not who we are. I just got my memory back, and I like this world.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the
Yeah, Letty and Mia have a
wanna be
really
Miss
good
Mom.
conversation together.
yes.
It's cool that they like the two girls get to go hang out because like I don't feel like they really get to do that often. Just
Yeah.
have like conversations, just like hanging out
And they've known each other for as long as Dom.
for
and-
for 30 years. Yeah.
So like it makes sense that they would. And going back to, I really like Mia's inclusion in general.
I'm so excited for the future, and it almost bums me out that I'm like, oh man, we're only getting 2 more. When like
Plus Hobbs and Shaws.
plus Hobbs and Shaw, but I mean like I just feel like I want like in 10 years to have like the Fast Kids and like Vin Diesel's a grandpa.
I think we're still
and
getting that.
I want that.
like
I want the
mean, like,
legacy.
we're
shit.
getting 2 more mainline Fast and Furious films, but we're getting at least one other Hobbs and Shaw, if not 2, and we're still getting they still want to make the ladies of Fast and
Mhm.
Furious thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think this world can still be played in, but I'm glad that the family at the heart of it is going to like end out their
Dom
story.
is gonna open up maybe the raceway again, and like the Toretto race. Like if that's like where like one of the settings is like, hey, he owns a racetrack now. Like that's cool character progression.
What you were talking about, I think in 10, 15, 20 years time, there's no more Fast and Furious films. Maybe they've been off for a while.
Mhm.
I do think we get a reboot in the sense that like it's the kids.
Yeah.
And here's Brian Toretto
Oh, I would lose my mind.
with Jack O'Connor.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're getting.
That's
Sure.
the dream. That's the dream of every comic book that I love. Like, make the young guy the old guy.
Yeah, I think someday we'll get that, and,
That's cool.
and it's in our lifetime. Yeah. All right, so we rate.
Let's rate it.
Sure.
Rate of the Furious.
One last thing. There's a post-credit scene.
There is a
Yeah, we talked-
post-credit.
We talked
scene.
about it
Briefly.
earlier for a hot second.
We didn't.
We just said that Han is probably in
Hobbs
Hobbs and
Shaw.
Shaw,
Yes.
but we didn't talk about
Oh,
Statham
yeah.
showing up at the
Oh,
end and
yeah.
being like, "Who is it? Oh shit!"
Yeah.
There's like the dramatic zoom.
The Han's face of like, I'm here to kill you.
Yeah.
Is so good. I really that's all I needed. I get like the whole thing is like we need justice for Han, but like all I needed was him at the door.
Yep. It's like, hi, I'm gonna beat your ass.
That's that actor who plays Han is so rad.
One of my favorite things about that actor in Fast and Furious 6, before they all learn mixed martial arts, they
He's the worst fighter.
no, he is the worst fighter.
Yeah.
Him and Roman get in a fight with the Asian guy on Shaw's team,
Mhm.
and the Asian guy on Shaw's team like destroys Roman and Han, and they're like, and it becomes a joke because they're not fighters. Don't know what they're doing. I'm glad we got back to like, yeah, Han is getting his ass kicked before he's like, bomb.
Yeah,
He can
Yeah.
shoot dudes from far away, but yeah, he's not good.
that was a fun moment.
Something about that guy. I like seeing him get his ass kicked. Apparently,
yeah. Like Indiana Jones, yeah.
I thought that
yeah.
was a good post credit sting. I liked the whole arc of Dom with his son too. I thought from
Yes.
beginning to end, I thought that was really good, and like the idea of like it's time to go home, back to the home,
Rebuild it, yeah.
Yeah, this is who we are. No more hiding.
Oh yeah, this the last thing about like that Letty conversation. She's like, I was never anybody who hid. Like when little Brian had to hide, like I've never been that type of person. Like she didn't like
Sure.
it. And like that's cool.
Yeah.
Tough
Yeah.
lady.
Our chat is blowing up, but I think
Oh,
it's
damn.
mostly with
I can still feel love.
spam people. Shortbox Padawan though. Hi.
Thanks for stopping by, spammers and friends.
Okay. Shall we rate?
Sure thing.
All right, Sparks.
Rate it.
Why don't you give it a rate?
I'm gonna give it a
I can still
8.5.
8.5, right?
Fast and the Furious 9. The Fast Saga gets a 9 out of 10 from me, Ryan Eliopoulos.
Ben.
7.5.
I can still feel love.
I will say 8. And shall we get into our book club then?
Yeah.
Speaking of fast,
Yeah. Speaking of things going fast, right?
Ben, take it away.
sorry.
Okay then.
Ben, take it away.
Yeah, so my book club, as I mentioned earlier at the very top of the show, I wrote a thing on oldschoolgamemagazine.com how it's the N64's 25th anniversary, but also this week was Sonic the Hedgehog's 30th anniversary. It happened this past week. So my book club is the IDW run Sonic the Hedgehog Volume 4 Infection and Volume 5 Crisis City. This is the beginning of a multi-issue story arc known as the Zombot Saga, which essentially is a zombie apocalypse happening in the world of Sonic the Hedgehog.
But robot zombies.
But yeah, robot zombies.
Issues 13 to 20.
Yeah, so we're covering issues 13 to 20. And gentlemen, what did you guys think of these books?
First of all,
of
you
this book?
spend $16 on a 4-issue trade. How dare they? How dare they do this to us? I hate trades. They're so expensive.
Real quick, the Shortbox Padawan has subscribed to us, so thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Shortbox.
Shortbox.
While this was going on, so I wanted to shout that out.
Oh man,
Oh,
we
sweet.
never had one of those before.
Yeah.
Ben, all right, Ben, I'm gonna talk to you about Sonic the Hedgehog real quick. All right, you
Okay.
ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
I actually kind of like this. Here's the thing. This is not going to make me a Sonic the Hedgehog fan.
Mhm.
This is better than the last Sonic the Hedgehog comics that we've read.
Mhm.
I
Last one
found
was-
They're like 20 years newer.
I was about to say
yeah.
this is the new idea. Okay, so
yeah, old comics
a
are
little
good
bit
too,
of little bit of context. So this is the brand new IDW run. All the characters, minus the main ones that show up in the video games, are gone. No Princess Sally, no Rotor, no Antoine,
what
no
that
Bunny
means.
Rabbit, none of them. It's only Sonic. It's Sonic and a few new
It's only
characters,
characters from the games.
characters from the games, and new characters that have shown up in this book.
Okay, so this isn't gonna make me a new Sonic fan or anything, but I found the subject material pretty dark for a kids comic. This is a kids comic. It's definitely a kids comic. There's fan art in the back that I loved looking at. It was really cute.
Mhm.
I'm surprised how dark it gets for a kids comic, and I found myself laughing at times, and I think this is an exceptionally well-made kids comic. That's just not for me, but I think it's a really, really good comic book for kids.
Okay, what about you, Sparks?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Sonic the Hedgehog fan. Those are my copies that you're holding right there of these. I like this current IDW run. I do think that, to be honest, like a big chunk of the reason why I like these issues so much is more the art than it is the writing
I
itself.
like the art a lot.
There is some writing that I like a lot, but there's also a lot of like really basic stuff. Like Ryan's right, it's a kid's comic, so I don't judge it too harshly. But I do think, like, while I think it gets really dark, it only makes me wish that it would go harder. That's why I run into a lot, and I'm like, we just like really quickly pass by the fact that like there's a part earlier in the infection arc, like when Amy and Sonic are wandering the cave, and it's like, and we lost a lot of good people in the war, and I'm like, oh yeah, we just like passed by war trauma real fast there. All your friends are dead, kind of stuff. Because this is a kids comic, so we can't take that too seriously. And I'm like, kind of wish
it's a situation where I wish this was darker, but then it wouldn't be just like a Sonic. It wouldn't be a Sonic. Because but then like I'm asking for something that the comic is not. So.
Right. I want to say, because when these books first started coming out, because obviously in the original Archie run of the books, it was its own world, and then they adapted the games into that pre-existing world. Whereas this one, I want to say it takes place after Sonic Forces.
Can I ask? I'm pretty sure that's true. Can I ask why you picked these volumes instead of the Neo Metal Sonic arc?
I want to say I picked these ones because these were more fresher in my mind. As much as I enjoyed the Neo Metal Sonic one, I felt like the beginning of Infection, the beginning of the Zombot Saga, because the Zombot Saga I thought just hit a lot more than just Sonic Knuckles fighting Neo Metal Sonic. As much as I love Metal Sonic, he's one of my favorite. He is my favorite villain in the Sonic universe. I just felt that this was the Sonic team, Ian Flynn, the writer, trying to do something different. Trying to like, how would Sonic affect a zombie apocalypse, and kind of essentially bringing back the roboticizer in a way, which was a famous machine that turned organic life into machines in the original Archie books.
Yeah.
So
Brandon, what do you think about this?
I need to manage to the chat. It's fine.
Okay. So I picked this because I felt it was fresher in my mind. And also, to be honest, I thought you guys would enjoy it a little bit more than the Neo Metal Sonic.
You mean these two?
Than these two, yeah.
I was just curious because I think Neo Metal Sonic's a much easier jumping on board point for anyone who's curious. Those are the volumes that are before this one. That 3-volume arc, I think, is a lot easier for someone to ease into. There's a lot of like, hey, if you didn't know this thing, pretty good sum up for who these characters are, what they're doing, why they're here, that kind of thing.
Even though we jumped in issue 13, I think like the recaps and stuff were good enough. Like I didn't feel confused jumping into it or anything.
I will say, like, I'm not crazy about the issues in volume 4 for the most part, because I'm not a big fan of Rough and Tumble.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't really care for them. They're new characters that I don't really enjoy. I like Tangle and Whisper, but I don't really care for Rough and Tumble. I never have.
Rough and Tumble, they're kind of like, they don't remind me of Scratch and Grounder from the very old Adventures of Sonic.
They are very much like them.
Yeah, you're right.
They're not robots, but they're very similar.
But the
purposes.
one villain who I do love a lot,
Starliner.
Starline, yeah,
Dr.
Starline.
Yeah, I thought some of the comedy was pretty good for like, for what it is. I think they're like, you're about to get busted by Sonic and Tails, and Rough and Tumble are like, that's our thing, you're stealing our thing.
Yes.
Like I think some of that comedy works.
Good stuff, yes.
There's a scene where they're going to Robotnik's cave, and it's literally like a face, his face on a cave. He's like, you know what I like about Eggman? His subtlety. And I'm like, Sonic's fun. All right, whatever.
A lot. This is true not just in these volumes, but in general. The art is really good most of the time.
I think the action scene, specifically like issue 2 with Metal Sonic, really good. Really good action.
Oh yeah,
really.
Yeah. The art for this comic consistently is like pretty gosh darn solid, like just really good, and like some panels are absolutely gorgeous, and I'm like, man, the art for this is so good.
I can definitely say, as a lifelong Sonic the Hedgehog fan, the art, I mean, I love the artists from the Archie books, like Tracy Yardley, Tyson Hesse. He's drawn a few good ones, but the art in the IDW books is just, to me, is like, this is great.
Yeah,
this is like, I feel like I'm reading bits from the like storyboards from a video game.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I think Ian Flynn, the writer, that's his name, right?
Yes.
I think his Eggman, I really like his Eggman in this version. The fact that he's like, I could carpet bomb him any day. That's not enough. You have to beat him. You have to be superior. You can't just vanquish your foe like that. Like, I think that's awesome.
He sounds
an awesome idea.
like the best of Eggman from the games.
Yeah.
Ian Flynn has a really good. Honestly, he has a really good voice for most of the characters. Shadow sounds like Shadow. Knuckles sounds like Knuckles.
Shadow seems like a tough boy.
Eggman sounds like Eggman. Amy sounds like Amy. Sonic sounds like Sonic. Like, he's really got these characters feeling like they are evoking who they are.
Yeah.
I really like the plot of the comic that came out before this, where Eggman was a good guy. Like, he had like amnesia or whatever.
Mr. Tinker, yeah.
And then Dr. Starline like finds him and like reprograms him to be evil again. And then Eggman goes back to the village that he hung out at, and he turns all those people into robot zombies.
Yeah.
And like, it's so sinister.
Mhm.
And like, for a kid's comic, I'm like, oh man, like, people are crying and stuff, and I'm like, this is dark for a 5-year-old's comic book.
They really make you get why Eggman is so.
Yeah,
bad.
it's like this is like the first time in like any Sonic property where I'm like, oh, this guy's like actually evil and like menacing. Like, for me.
I feel like with Dr. Eggman especially, we joke about Eggman a lot. Like, we bash on him but then you read stuff like this where he pours the metal virus over the town that took him in and helped him. And
Ian Flynn brings a perfect blend of like Eggman from the modern games with Eggman from the early 90s animated show.
Yeah.
The dark one that only had one season.
The Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
I didn't know anything about Team Chaotix. I love those guys. I like
They're great.
Vector Crocodile, man.
Vector Crocodile,
Think he's
SBO.
They're
super cool.
detectives in the world of Sonic the Hedgehog.
I thought that was great. My favorite part of this entire book is Sonic has the infection, but he has to run like the Flash to like avoid it. And like, the more he beats the zombies, like the more he becomes infected. That's really like, the stakes are like, they feel really good.
Yes.
Like, that's really good.
One of the scenes that reminded me that I was like, damn, this is going into something different that I didn't think of, is when we see that one girl in the city and she's infected in her arm.
Oh yeah, when
She's
Charmy goes back.
Yeah, when Charmy goes back, but then Vector comes in and like smashes the cars and like puts her in a thing, and he's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, no, please just put me in quarantine. I will be okay. I'll wrap my arm. And he just goes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think my only thing is like, I don't even need them to go harder on those moments necessarily. I just think there are other like cornball moments that undercut the actual sincerity that those moments get across, and take it too far back into the like, this is just silly kid stuff. Don't worry.
What's
zone.
the robot's name? Omega?
Omega.
Omega.
Urge to maim rising. That's really, I think that made me laugh. I don't know who this guy is. Gemerol? He's a Mega Man.
Even I forget about where Gemerol's
He's
from.
a Mega Man guy. I liked him.
Brandon's got to say something.
I actually have to acknowledge the chat.
Oh, okay.
Because it exploded.
Okay.
Because I do want to acknowledge. So Z Collects, who I accidentally pissed off. I apologize. I will.
Jeez Louise, Brandon.
Go back to you later. We have so many people in the chat right now. I saw so many different names that I'd never seen before. Apparently, what happened is Z Collects shouted us out on his stream, which he just ended.
Oh my god!
So a bunch of his people came over to us.
Thanks, man.
Just now. So I just wanted to say, there's a lot of people such as Lisa Noble, Patrick Wall, who've been saying some things about Sonic.
That
I do want to bring up. But Patrick Wall does say. They're really into their own convo. That's okay. At least they're passionate about it.
Oh,
it's a podcast.
Really, I actually do appreciate that because I think that's really great. We do have 2 new subscribers thanks to this.
Oh, thank you.
I love you. Thank you.
And yes, okay. So Patrick Wall says about Sonic, who knew Jim Carrey would have a second life after a Sonic movie? Yep. Z Collects talks about a Sonic comic that just came out, had an awesome variant.
Oh yeah, because that's the 30th anniversary that just happened, which was funny enough on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then
Sonic.
So Caroline Chris 26 says Sonic rocks.
Yeah, Carol. Yeah.
You know what? I'll agree. I think this is a good comic.
There are so many people. People on here right now. I cannot get to. I've never had to deal with so many.
Don't
people
worry about it. We got a
right
podcast
now.
to do, baby.
And Mag does say, because Mag, he watches all of our streams. Says, take care, FNP. Good night, stay safe, and catch you later.
Love you, Mag. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ben. So yeah, like when Sonic is like running from stuff, like that was my favorite stuff, and he's like, I felt the tension, and I think This is a good comic.
So I mean, I just reread this, and my mind is still very fresh on the Zombot saga, and I want to say it gets so much worse for our heroes moving forward. And I want part of me, because I thought it was like, because I mean these are short reads, true, but I thought giving the entire saga would probably been way too much. So I figured, I'll just get the first half, and if they like it, maybe someday down the line we'll finish it, because I kind of do want to finish it, and because I like how things progress and how things eventually get worse.
Reading this, like the Sonic games never have this much lore or anything. So like this makes me want like the next Sonic movie to be like this story. Like make like an animated movie with this, because like if Sonic were like this all the time, I could get into it.
Right.
Like for me, it might still be a little too kiddie just for me. But like there's good stuff in here, and I see the appeal of Sonic when I read this comic.
Yeah.
Right.
And it just makes me be like, oh man, like why aren't they always firing in all cylinders?
Yeah.
I love the way Ian Flynn does Omega. I did the first time I read this. I really like him a lot. I hear abridged Android 16 when I read him.
Oh sure.
But like when he tells Sonic like, you are in the way of my massacre, and put a jaw on me and I will bite them. Like,
man, and again, the art, it's really good.
It's gorgeous.
Like
art.
there's no
it's
reason
always gorgeous.
There's no reason Sonic art should have bad art, but like this is like Marvel
unbelievably
quality,
good.
Yeah.
Like Omega, I feel like even in the Archie days when Ian Flynn was writing for Archie, he always wrote Omega hilarious.
He did.
He's like, I'm gonna blow so many things up. It's glorious.
The part where Sonic's infected and Gamorreal is like, "You're infected. I have to kill you." He's like, "No, but I'm not infected." Like that's good tension. Like I knew no one was gonna die.
Like
but
the fact that I think it's, I don't know if it's on Gamorreal or General, whatever.
Yeah,
when General is just like, I'm here to protect Cream and her mom.
Yeah,
you're infected. You're a threat. And then just all these parameters are put in place for General. And it's just like, what's going to happen? Because General is Cream's protector, but he helps Sonic like when Cream says, go help.
Right. The interior art is gorgeous all the time. Some of these covers, man, like Sonic has like
that's James Stocco.
Just incredible Sonic cover art. Like it's insane. Some of the covers for
there
this.
There are some amazing just the covers for this book. Even when I go to the store and they put it in my pull list, I try to find it to see if they have any of the variant covers. Some of the variant covers are just like, God damn, why do you have to go this hard for a Sonic the Hedgehog book?
But like, I'm so glad they do, because the art is such a major selling point.
It is, yeah.
Also, the last thing I'll say, Eggman's face ship.
The face ship
that just vomits the metal that infects people. It's cool and horrifying at the same time. Some really cool, scary imagery, like when it's just looming in the distance.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised how much I like this comic.
I like a lot of the silhouette work they do, especially when Eggman is first testing his metal virus on the animals, and then you see like the famous Eggman silhouette with the teeth and the eyes, and it's like, damn, I forget how terrifying Eggman can be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they're even in the last time I remember, like when I was a kid watching the Sonic the Hedgehog, the Sat AM one, where Jim Cummings voiced him, he was part robot and he won, and Sonic and his friends were fighting back. I was like, God damn, he is scary. Yeah. And then there are times where, like when he was modernized in Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, he was a little bumbly, but still kind of, ooh, oh my gosh, he's gonna crash the ark. Then there are times he's in this, and it's like, yikes. You're just willing to like just screw everyone over.
Is Dr. Starline like a main character in the rest of the books?
Dr. Starline he does remain a main character in the rest of the books.
I thought they were super cool.
He's a really.
I love that they're like
really great new character.
Eggman, you're the best villain. I want him to be just like you.
Yeah.
Oh, just wait.
How you doing over there, Brandon, with the chat?
It's calmed down a bit.
Okay.
I just trying to make sure that everyone in the chat knows that I appreciate them.
Great.
We definitely do.
Do you want to say anything about the
I
comic?
have literally nothing to say about this comic.
Cool.
I thought it was perfectly fine.
Okay. You didn't like. I thought you'd really like Omega.
I mean, yeah, but you guys said everything.
Because I felt like those lines would be like, yeah, but I just want to hear what you have to say.
The lines made me laugh.
Cool.
Okay. Good. Because because I knew like the one person I felt like with this arc I had to impress the most was you.
Yeah.
It's like I felt like this one you might have like liked it a little bit more, because I know he probably would have enjoyed it.
It was better than the last thing I read about Sonic.
Yeah, I think the last one I picked was the Endgame Saga, where it was the Endgame.
Did you like
saga.
the art?
Yeah, the art's good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked it better than the last thing that I liked about Sonic, but I really just don't have a lot
True. Understandable.
to say.
Understandable.
It's fine.
Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You know me, Ben.
Well, I know you enjoyed it. It was mostly for these two.
I know.
Should we end the show then?
Yeah,
I don't know. Does someone have to
unless
pick
the
another
chat
book club?
needs more from us.
Ryan.
Yeah?
It's your book club next week.
Oh, is it?
It is.
I guess I'm gonna have to pick a book out of my ass.
Oh,
All right, I got it right here.
that was
So, we had a skip week.
Gross.
So, it's Pride Month, and I'm gonna be missing Pride Month. But guess what? It doesn't mean we still can't talk about cool books.
Yeah.
So I'm picking a book I bought a while ago, and I'm finally gonna read it. It's called Exit Stage Left: The Snagglepuss Chronicles. It's a Hanna-Barbera thing. I don't know anything about this character except in this version, he's a gay playwright, and this won a GLAAD award, and it's really, really cool, and I can't wait to read it. Snagglepuss.
by the writer who did the
Flintstones, Mark Russell. Hell yeah, that Flintstones
Russell.
book is awesome. That's about capitalism and the nuclear family in the Flintstones world. So I can't wait to read this thing. Happy Pride Month, everybody.
All right, so that'll be our book club for next week. So I'm gonna real quickly just once again acknowledge the chat because some people have said goodbye. Caroline Chris 26 does say over here reading Darth Bane, listening to the combo.
Nice.
Convo,
Darth
thank you.
Bane,
Darth
heck
Bane,
yeah.
There's also up here Joe. Sorry, I saw
Joe Mama?
Joe 4771 who says I'm more high than drunk. I feel that.
Bro, Joe, give me a minute. I'll be there.
Yes. So Patrick Wall says when's the Star Wars convo? We've had a few.
We've
I don't
had
know.
many.
Don't think we have a new one coming. So
Until the next thing comes out.
stay tuned. All right. Anyway, so thank you everyone who popped over to the chat. Thank you to Z Collects for shouting us out and having people show up.
Yeah,
It was
thank you.
a shock to my system.
Yeah, I mean, I glanced over. I'm like, how many people are watching? this right
Anything
now?
more than 2, and we're like, what?
Yeah,
I mean, once it like 3, okay, cool. But once it jumps up at over 5, I'm like, what?
I know for many people who listen to watch the probably larger streams, 8 people in our chat, 8 people watching our stream is high for us.
Yeah.
So thank you to
It's
everyone.
also
who
late,
did
so
that.
thanks for staying up.
Yes. So we're just going to do the end of the show. Sorry you showed up at the end. So yes, so Snagglepuss is the next one. Next week we're going to be talking about Luca. That's going to be our main topic for next week. The new Pixar original Luca.
Disney Plus.
You can check out some of our other shows. I don't know, many people are going to hear this for the first time.
Yeah.
Hot dog. We have
my
so many
gosh.
things to watch.
So many things.
You can check out some of our other shows, such as I have a audio show called Conversation, where I recently talked to Karis Lunn. I did not get an episode out this past week because I screwed up. So I'm late. But I did talk about Karis Lunn from the Kingdom of Minds podcast. That's up right now on Conversation. That's linked below. Is that linked below? It's linked below. I didn't bring it up in the opening of the episode, but yes, it's linked below. Our Fake Nerds Watch series, which is an after show where we talk about other TV shows. We're doing Loki right now. Our 3rd episode is coming up this week. We have 2 up now, and you can check out some of the other shows that we've done. We have a Basement Arcade series, which is currently on hiatus, and Basement Arcade Pause Menu, which has a new episode coming out soon.
Yes.
Ben, you talked about E3.
I did. We talked. It was me, Inga, and Patrick. We talked about all of E3 essentially.
Electronics 3.
So yeah, check that out. Of course, the Fake Nerd Book Club series currently on hiatus, coming back soon. We're going to talk about Gotham Academy, and you can check out some of our other things. We just finished talking about Little Char and the Gang, which is the Pokemon strip. Webtoon strip, and of course our newest show, Animation Station, Sparks' show, where we talked about Adventure Time Distant Lands BMO. That is up right now. You can find all those linked down below. You can find all of our things around. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and you can check out some of the other links below, such as our Crafted by Z masks. Probably aren't looking for masks right now, but I'm still going to plug them because we got a couple. So we do have our masks. They are custom fabric of our Fake Nerd Podcast logo on a mask. You can check out our Patreon. We have 4 tiers on our Patreon now: our $1 tier, our $5 tier, which you get stuff on, our $10 tier, which is changing the shirt. We get an exclusive shirt if you do the $10 tier. That's changing on
July 1st?
on July 1st. That'll be a new shirt, be revealed on July 1st. So this is your last chance to get Stephen King is my best friend t-shirt. Ben,
Only a
Magnet.
couple more
A lot of the new
days.
people who are watching us right now have no idea what that means.
That is a fun inside joke. Caroline Chris says it's 4:32 a.m. here.
Oh wow.
You should go to bed.
Go to bed.
Thank you for your service.
Short
We
box.
don't know their life. Maybe this is their off
It's
time.
true.
Short box Padawan says thanks guys, much love. Thank
Aw,
you.
Thank you, man.
Lisa Noble says night everyone.
Good
Night
night.
all.
Patrick Wall says okay folks, catch you on the flip.
All right. Sounds
Um,
good.
Then
Really, this is great, guys. Thank you so much for coming in, and I owe Z Comics a massive apology. Z Collects a massive apology.
I don't.
That's true. And of course, our last tier on Patreon, which is $20, which is whatever.
If you love us,
You can check out our TeePublic, which I just put up a new shirt, Animation Station. That is Sparks' new logo for Animation Station. That is up on a shirt now, and you can check out other shirts such as our logos for Basement Arcade, for Fake Nerds Book Club, from Miscellaneous, even. Suburban Proctologist has a shirt up there.
Basement Arcade logo is sick.
Yes,
It is
it
pretty
totally
great.
is.
I don't mind bragging about it. It's a sick logo.
No, please brag about it. I'm probably gonna get another shirt with it on.
I love it.
And of course, you can check out our website where you can find all these links. All these links are on our website at www.fakenerdpodcast.com. It's completely up to date. I just put up 2 new articles there. So check it out. Thank you to everyone who listens to the audio stream. Thank you to everyone who watches our live stream. Thank you to everyone who watches the replay. Thank you to the people who showed up.
Yeah,
I
thank you,
know.
new friends.
Because
We love friends.
this is really crazy. Caroline Chris does ask about the Bad Batch for Star Wars. We could do something with the Bad
Maybe
Batch.
when
but
it's
over.
over.
We are thinking about it.
Yeah, we could potentially do something.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's an animation station thing.
Choo choo.
Yeah. We're also looking to do something with Godzilla Singular Point.
That's true.
We'll find something. Thank you to Jeremy Vellucci. Jeremy Vellucci does our music, all of our interim music. You can check out all that on Jeremy Vellucci Keyboards. And you can check out his podcast, Suburban Proctologist, on iTunes or Facebook.com/Suburban Proctologist Official, or Instagram at SubProc Podcast. Thank you to Mike
It's a
Matola,
comedy narrative audio show. For
Yes,
those who
Lots
are
of
interested.
guffaws.
where he does most of the voices.
Yep.
You can check out Mike Matola. Thank you to Mike Matola. He did our logos for Fake Nerd Podcast, for Miscellaneous, for Fake Nerd Book Club, and the current shirt on Patreon.
Stephen King.
Stephen King is my best friend,
Yeah.
and the upcoming shirt, which will drop on July
Spoilers.
1st, which you guys have seen it, but
True.
the audience has
Yeah.
not. You can find him at Mike Matola. He's a great guy. Love him. Trying to get him on soon. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at Fake Nerd Podcast, fakenerdguys@gmail.com. If you'd like to get in touch with us personally, I'm at BT McClure on Instagram and Twitter. Ben.
You can find me still writing articles for Old School Gamer Magazine at BenMagnet27 on Instagram and Twitter. My 2 newest articles, one about why Nintendo fans of older Nintendo franchises shouldn't lose hope, and a retrospective on the Nintendo 64 are up on the website right now. If you go to oldschoolgamermagazine.com, you'll find them. Brandon, yeah, he has them linked down below, so go check them out.
Link below. And Ryan. Jesus.
You could find me at DJ Tony Snark everywhere.
And Sparks.
You can find me recognizing that now is a new memory all the time.
Ah!
At Sparks Witty on Instagram and Twitter, SPARKZ Witty.
Full circle.
All right.
circle.
All right. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music and Podcast, and Pandora. Rate and review wherever you get us. We greatly appreciate it. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. And until next time, guys,
Dominic
John
Meow.
Meow.
stay fake nerds. Oh, I'm not ready.
Nope.
I got distracted.
Dominic
Stay fake nerds.
Oh.